What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into... This is the first time we've actually done this way, I think. I think last year we just did it where the picks were in, and then one of us kind of was like, oh, here's the picks that were made in order for it. But this is the 2021 NBA Mock Draft Discord edition, and I'm going to explain everything that entails to that. But before I do and get into that long explanation, I want to bring in who I'm along with. To my right is one of my beautiful co-hosts, Jake Neverman.
How we doing?
And below us, all by himself in the bottom row, the great man, the myth, the legend, Dave Oster. How you doing?
Bringing the integrity to the show here. I was told we were dressing up. You know, somebody wanted to tie. I can't tie up. But in classic tradition, we're going Hawaiian shirt and jacket, keeping it classy. Even got the sign back here. You guys don't have to see the white wall today. You can see the reflection of my screen.
See a whiteboard,
and your ceiling light is also shining
and the ceiling
through.
light. Yes.
I mean, should we say integrity of the show, Dave, or should we just say this is in memoriam to Sean Anderson?
We could have called
It's
Sean,
keeping Sean's memory alive, Sean's memory alive.
I should have gotten Sean to come do this.
Let me text Sean on the fly right now. This is you. Yeah, oh, he's working. Okay.
I just assume he's always working. Yeah,
that's the same problem I have.
Shit.
Yeah.
But this is, we're just gonna call it even though we've done Discord mocks, this is the first way we're doing it this way. So fuck it. This is the 1.0, the first ever Discord mock that we have done this way. How everything is going to work for tonight is the three of us are basically your ESPN analysts. We're the guys like Jalen Rose back in the day. Like,
Ricky, are you gonna do the Jalen Rose player comps as we go along?
See, no, I'm not. I'm the host, Dave. I'm like your Rachel Nichols tonight with a little bit. Maybe I don't want to be Rachel Nichols tonight. Malika Andrews. I'm your Malika Andrews tonight. Just a lot less not Malika Andrews. Where you guys are basically Jalen Rose and who am I thinking of?
Do not put us in that category.
No, from The Ringer. Who am I thinking from The Ringer? That
Evan O'Connor?
Celtics
the
fan.
Man I pure straight hate, Bill Simmons?
No, Bill Simmons. You guys are Jalen Rose and Bill Simmons. Reacting to...
No, we're Ryan Russillo and Bill Simmons. Get it right.
No, we're going off of ESPN back in the day.
But I make the divorce analogies, and then Dave brings up some Celtic from the 1990s.
This isn't the NFL. You can't be like right now. I'm with Todd to my right, Mel's below me.
Dad.
But how this is gonna work? We have people from the Discord who have been assigned teams. They have made deals. They are the GMs tonight. We will pull them in when they are on the clock. We will ask them, hey, what is your pick? Jake is going to be the master of that, asking, hey, are you ready to be pulled in? They will announce their pick. We will discuss. Then we will move on to the next pick. And without further ado, actually also Patreon, if you want to support us, patreon.com, or become a member today. And if you want to join the Discord to be in this for the NFL, or when we do this next year for the NBA, join the Discord. It's free. Link down below in the description. But without further ado, Jake, whenever he is ready, you can bring Spider-Man in for the Detroit Pistons pick.
I'm waiting for the message to confirm that they are okay, so that I don't drag somebody in while they're in the middle of a conversation.
I get that. I'm just letting you know that we are ready for him.
So we expect it to be Cade, right? It's not going to be anybody else.
It could be JG4. Could be the number one on
Dave and I have made our thoughts pretty clear on this.
Recent reports of JG4 refusing to work out for any team other than the Detroit Pistons or the Houston Rockets leads me to believe that he is clearly going first or second overall in this draft.
Oh man, I love you, Dave.
I am not getting a response from Spider-Man, so we're just gonna poll and go for it. I think that's what we're gonna do. Here we go. Hello,
Spider-Man, you there? Are you there?
This is embarrassing. Our one overall.
When we finally am here to pull, we knew he was in there because
he's here. He now messaged me, so now we gotta. Is he here?
Spider, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you dig
it? We are live here, and while we're live, shout outs to chat right now as we fill some time. Tim, appreciate the love. Love right back at you. Kyle Craig, a name we have not seen in a while. Ricky, shout out to you from Kyle Craig.
Yeah, all is well. I hope all is well with you, Kyle. Haven't seen your name, and also let's go Sixers.
And we got a what up nation in chat too.
What's up?
Hello.
Do we have some technical difficulties here? Are we going for time?
This is a rough start.
Hey, like I said, this is the first time we've done
Discord mock draft.
This is an impromptu event. Yeah.
As the NBA and NFL both had to deal with the issues of a remote draft last year, we too are running through the same issues.
Well,
Ricky's basically Roger Goodell over there. He's got the chair.
I don't have the M&Ms though. I don't have the M&Ms.
Bowl. Yeah, just chilling back.
I've got my piss poor Hinkley.
Oh, that's
Hinkley. Yeah. It's like drinking piss. That's what it is. Like I hate it.
That's Dasani.
Shots
fired.
It's not like I still have an empty bottle here. It's not like the goat. Not sponsored, but if we got a nice mountain sponsor, I'd be great.
What's going to happen is he has some technical difficulties again. He can't hear, but I did receive his pick from him.
Okay.
Who is his pick?
The Detroit Pistons are going number 1 overall. Cade Cunningham, guard, wing, out of Oklahoma State.
It's just chalk.
Nothing surprising there. That's the pick.
Pick. I think one of my favorite comments out there around this pick being so controversial is, you don't get fired for taking Cade Cunningham over JG4.
Mm-hmm.
It's even if JG4 is who we think he is, Jake, no one's going to blame you in 5 years for taking someone like Cade Cunningham over him. But if you do it the other way around and JG4 busts out, then you are out of job. You are out of job. So this is the safe pick for the Pistons moving forward. They add a primary ball handler, a guy who can score on 3 levels. I'm thrilled about the pick. I'm not disappointed at all.
I think this is the expected pick. We all expected Cade Cunningham to go here. Nobody's going to criticize them for taking Cade Cunningham. They are taking the second best player in the draft, but is probably the safest pick in the draft at this rank. So it's almost when we look back at the 8 pick and we go, that was the safe pick. Nobody criticized them at the time for taking it. Now looking back, obviously Luka, but Cade Cunningham is going to be great. He's going to walk into the league, average 17, 7, and 7. Nobody's going to criticize them for that pick.
So the next pick, though, we've got a little bit of controversy. This is where the articles that I have read have said that this pick will dictate the rest of the NBA draft. And J-Dub has the pick for the Rockets. Is he ready, Jake?
Well, 1, J-Dub doesn't know how to check his DMs, so I'm just going to drag. 2, I would like to say, but I'll go, inside sources have told me from before that Rockets GM J-Dub has been saying that Evan Mobley is a rare talent compared to Jalen Green being a great talent. So I would suspect that the Houston Rockets are leaning towards Evan Mobley, but we will see here once J-Dub gets in here. Let's see how this works. We'll see if we can actually get a pick to work this time. Hello?
Oh. Wait a minute, I see something.
Oh, he is here. He is live.
He's arrived.
How you doing, J-Dub?
We get our hopes up too early.
I heard him for a second.
Perhaps we should have done.
There he is.
J-Dub, you there?
Look at this. Oh,
there we
God.
So,
savvy.
It looks like you are on the clock. Who are the Rockets taking at number 2?
Oh, the second pick in the NBA 2021 draft, the Houston Rockets are selecting Evan Mobley from the University of Southern California.
Thank you very much,
sir. Good pick. We will hear a lot more from J-Dub tonight as he has 2 other Rocket picks. Jake, I will go to you first as Dave gave most of the analysts for the Pistons. Analysis, you're right. I make up words as we go, just how you do it, keep her moving. But with this pick, like I said, this is going to dictate how things go. The big thing for the Rockets is, did they make the right pick going with Evan Mobley, or should they have gone with JG4? Should they have gone to your big board, or does Evan Mobley fit better than a JG4?
I will not criticize the take. Actually, I will criticize the taking of Evan Mobley. I respect Evan Mobley. He's a Dia friend of mine. But Evan Mobley is not the talent that Jalen Green is. They already have a guy in Christian Wood who I think can be a long-term center for them. Evan Mobley can play next to Christian Wood. Doesn't seem like that's kind of the way the NBA is moving in regards to big man play anyways. Jalen Green is there. The Rockets have a bunch of good pieces, but they don't have the guy. Jalen Green is the guy on a team in the future, in the next couple of years, moving forward, just with his scoring ability alone, and with whatever he's going to grow on from that. Jalen Green is the best prospect in this draft. He's still sitting there at 3. Number 2, I like Evan Mobley. I think all top 3 guys in this draft are going to be studs. But Jalen Green should have been the pick. Not going to hate on the Evan Mobley pick just a little bit because Jalen Green should have been the pick.
Dave, that's so disrespectful to Evan Mobley right there. I think that you are out of your mind by speaking down about him. Look, I didn't
speak down. I spoke high on Jalen Green. Don't twist my words, sir.
And by speaking so highly of Jalen Green and then just, tossing aside what Evan Mobley could be, I feel that is disrespectful. Look, he is someone who has incredible size, great handles for someone who is a near 7 foot, or probably will be by the time he's 20. Someone who has defensive instincts, great IQ out there, someone who's going to contribute on both sides of the ball. I mean, these are things that you can't get out of anyone. And, the comps out there for him right now, we've heard the Chris Bosh, we've heard the Anthony Davis. If we land somewhere in between of those two, you have an all-time great player. And I think that can't be a wrong pick here. And I know people are like, well, they didn't take Jalen Green, and I don't know. I'm not going to speak on John's behalf here, but they do already have a guard prospect with an incredibly high ceiling in Kevin Porter Jr. So perhaps their thought is, hey, we're going to have our guard of the future. We can get our big of the future. And between those two guys, we have it set up to build out this roster.
I will not disagree with the point that Evan Mobley is a great talent. I was an Evan Mobley defender for most of the year, actually. I had Evan Mobley ranked 2 on my board for most of the year. I get it. It's just the league is a guard and wing dominated league. Jalen Green is a walking bucket. Walking into the league.
We did just see a non-guard win a championship.
I don't know if Giannis is. I would assume
days ago.
Giannis can be considered a 3 or a 4, which could be a wing.
What world?
In what the world
is
I
live
live
3?
It is a positionless basketball league. He's mostly used as an offensive initiator.
I don't think we're going to agree on this one, Ricky. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
The one thing I will say that I do like is Dave bringing up Kevin Porter Jr. That's my main thing with this is do they have their guards and they need somebody next to Christian Wood down low. Thing I love about Evan Mobley is how he's comfortable on the outside in the kind of pick and roll. So I'm not bashing the pick. But that makes the next pick even more interesting because the Cavs, the rumors are if Jalen Green is there, Colin Sexton, pack your bags, you out of town because we getting JG4. If JG4 got taken by the Rockets, things might have been different. I think the Cavs are happy with either one. But Mad Rogue going to be coming in, making the pick for the Cavs, and I think we all know who it's going to be. Mad Rogue, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you doing, and who are the Cavs taking at number 3, my guy?
Doing pretty well. And with the 3rd pick of the NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers are taking Jalen Green, guard, G League Unite.
The
Thank
G
you very
League
much.
Unite.
Well done.
And
well done.
Mad Rogue will be back. He's got the Clippers as well. This one's pretty chalk, guys. I mean, JG4 over to the Cavs. The thing I will ask you is, if you are the Cavs heading into the real NBA draft, I know that both of you on your big boards have JG4 number 1. But if you are the Cavs, Dave, I'll ask you first.
Sure.
If you're a Cavs fan, who would you want more? JG4 because he's better and he's the number 1? Or Evan Mobley because he might be a good fit next to Jarrett Allen and could be a good replacement to Kevin Love?
Pardon my French here, but I don't give a damn about fit. This is the NBA draft, and you're in the top 3 for a reason. You're Cleveland. I'm sorry. You had the LeBron tour. You got your ring. You're back to rebuild. We don't want to be picking this high again. You have a fantastic guard in the backcourt in Darius Garland, someone who was completely joked on his freshman year, or his rookie year, I should say, for basically being his first games played in 2 years because of his injury in college. So he lit it up last year. He looked fantastic. I think a lot of people are still downplaying his ability out there. I think Jalen Green is the perfect pairing. I, like you mentioned, have him as my number 1 overall player on this draft class, rating-wise. And I think that this is the highest upside. The only question you brought up that I absolutely agree with is the situation with Colin Sexton. If this lands this way, where you have Cade, Mobley happen, instantly, Colin Sexton's trade value goes down. Everyone knows he wants out. Like it's a situation of, I shouldn't say he wants out. The Cavs want him out because they would like to go a different direction. But by putting them in this situation, his stock goes down.
And I mean, we haven't got there yet because we're only 3 picks in. But we do have a ton of trades that already happened pre-draft. Should Mad Rogue be in that channel working out a deal to get Colin Sexton, or has he already been moved? Because we have so many trades, I do not know if he's been moved yet. Jake is our trade insider.
He has not been moved, and we did close trades at 2 p.m. So everything is.
My question was: were we allowing, like, once the draft starts, for them to maybe make a move?
No, we were not.
So Colin Sexton would have to be moved post-draft. That is
post-draft, yeah. So that would be assumed next move. I think the Jalen Green. I'm high on Isaac Okoro. I loved his game, the flash he showed offensively, defensively. He was a monster in his rookie year. Darius Garland going forward, and I don't think it would be a bad thing if they end up with Evan Mobley, because they could end up. They could keep Colin Sexton in that chance, and then they could let Jared Allen walk or match and trade him, whatever it may be. They have a lot of options going forward. Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro, whoever they take with this pick, it's a great core going forward in my mind.
Well, that brings us to pick number 4. OG Buddy going to be coming in, making the pick for the Raptors. This is probably the last chalk one of the draft.
Then it goes. Then shit goes wild.
OG, you there?
Hello. No.
He's muted.
Yeah.
How you doing, my man? Who are the Raptors taking with the 4th overall pick?
With the 4th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Tampa Bay Raptors will select shooting guard Moses Moody out of Arkansas.
Oh,
wow.
What? Thank you.
Oh, okay.
What has happened?
Wait. Jalen Suggs. That's the big news. Jalen Suggs not there. How big of a bomb is this, and how is this going to shake up the draft, Jake? I'll let you go.
Well, I've been talking to my inside sources lately. I've been talking to the GM of the Tampa Bay Raptors, and he has been talking about how much he rates highly Moses Moody. I think Jalen Suggs should have been the chalk pick. I like Jalen Suggs a lot. I like Moses Moody a lot. Again, this isn't me talking down Moses Moody. This is talking up Jalen Suggs and kind of the upside of the exact replacement that you would have for Kyle Lowry with Jalen Suggs. I'm not sure of the fit immediately that Moses Moody has. I don't think that him and Fred VanVleet, I'm questionable on that backcourt to start. I just think Jalen Suggs has a higher ceiling. I think Moses Moody has a higher floor. Most likely. I think Moses Moody walks in as a steady NBA player and probably is an NBA player for a long time. I just think Jalen Suggs, his vision and his passing ability makes everybody on the team better, and I'm wildly surprised that he wasn't gone at 4.
Dave?
This is such a draft bomb. Like this is why we do this. Because in a million drafts that we've mocked inside of the MVP crew, never heard Moses Moody name as a top 4 talent. And I love that this is happening. So the things that you can kind of read into here is, Jake, you were saying that, maybe you still view higher floor maybe, like for Suggs. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think Jalen Suggs is a very good player. I want to say Jalen Green. My brain's on a one-track mind.
That's that.
Yep. Jalen Suggs, I think, for all of the talent he's displayed in college, I don't know that we've seen the peak, and a lot of people are already like, oh, well, just put him in the Drew Holiday category and walk away, call it a day. Yeah. Meanwhile, Moses Moody's someone who can ball handle at the wing. I think a lot of people should be higher on him than they probably are. So this pick, while I don't necessarily say I saw it coming, I will say I'm happy to see a team go after someone who has proven high basketball IQ, plays with the flow of the game, plays within his own abilities, but also has the ability to take over games at times. Has incredible upside on the defensive side. Like, I don't think that he's as far off the 4th overall talent in this class than we would believe looking back at this maybe like 5 years.
I did say by the way, just so that I did say Moses Moody, I believe, has a higher floor than Jalen Suggs.
Okay.
That was my point. That's why I kind of understand it, but I probably still would have gone with Suggs in my mind.
The other thing you got to look at too is, so the one insider thing we will get to is
can we pop that cherry now? Is there any
what? That I was going to say the Warriors have moved their picks. There have been talks that in the reporting world that Pascal Siakam could be on the radar of the Warriors, and is this something where like the Raptors are doing this to like, hey, we're going to work a trade for somebody, and Moses Moody could be on the move, but everything gets interesting now as the Magic are officially on the clock, and we got Tim coming in to make the pick for the Magic. One of 2 picks that the Magic still have. Tim, how you doing?
He's deafened.
Oh, he can't hear us. I'm used to the mute.
There
Tim, how's it going, my
Tim.
guy?
Oh, look
Look
at
at that, the little shades.
What's
up, buddy?
All right. You guys hear me?
I
Yes,
can
we
hear
can.
you. Who are the Magic taking with the 5th overall pick?
With the with the 5th overall pick in the NBA draft, Orlando Magic are selecting Scotty Barnes out of Florida State.
Okay, I like
it.
Thank you, Tim. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Tim
What
will
is
be back
happening?
for another pick. I like this, though, because this is expected in the real world to be their pick of Scotty Barnes. He is rising. Dave, you're shaking your head. Do you not like the pick?
I'm wondering if this is Tim sticking with what he knows. He scouted. This was the pick going in. Like you said, this is chalk. But when an opportunity arises to take Jalen Suggs, I wonder
They got Markel
what would
Fultz.
happen.
They got Markel Fultz and Cole Anthony. You're going to take a 3rd point guard? I know that he's like Jalen Suggs could be a combo guard, but
I
like
think
they're
that
already
is
stacked at the guard position.
Are
like,
they, though? Have they decided anything? You have Markel Fultz coming off of an injury.
I agree.
A player who is known for his
I
injuries.
agree. You might not have.
have Cole
You might
Anthony,
have
who is
quality
5'10".
over quantity, Dave, but they
You
still have a lot of
5'10",
unanswered.
bow-legged,
All right,
kid
gentlemen.
off the bench. And then you have RJ Hampton. So, like,
I
look,
agree.
I
No
believe
answer.
that Jalen Suggs would be an excellent addition to this team. But I cannot fault you for sticking with the guy you scouted. Scotty Barnes likely will be here for them. And I think that he's got incredible upside as a ball handler who can defend 1 through 5. I just, I question a lot of the upside there. It's so dependent on that player development, and I will asterisk that. I know the Orlando Magic have cleaned out their front house, but
This is
still a
fun.
question.
This is like the one time I wish we enabled trades because I just want to see who would be trading about 5 first-round picks to move up for Jalen Suggs. I like Scotty Barnes a lot. I think one of the most attractive attributes that he has is how emotional and how energetic he is on the court, and the fact that he can be a leader for a team. And that's something that I think the Orlando Magic are lacking right now, is they don't have a proven set leader for that team. And if Scotty Barnes can be that, then I get it. I think I literally was watching Scotty Barnes tape today, actually, while I was pretending to work. He's explosive athlete. 7'2" wingspan while being 6'9". He's the perfect small ball 5 for how the NBA is moving. It's just perfect. And I think transitioning into the next pick, I think this falls right into the Wolves' lap.
Oh,
They need a point
No,
guard.
it's not the Wolves, Jake, because we haven't talked about what happened.
what do you mean we haven't talked about what happened? It was originally the Warriors.
Yeah. No, it's 6 is up next.
Yeah,
It's
which
the
is the Wolves.
No, which was the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a trade.
Jake,
Slacking on your job.
The trade. What was the trade, Jake?
So the
Thank
Minnesota
you, Dave.
Timberwolves decided to blow it up, as we have said. The Minnesota Timberwolves traded Karl Anthony Towns to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Darius Baisley, Theo Maledon, Pokusevsky, we're just going with that, the 6th pick and the 16th overall pick, plus a whole crap ton of assets later that don't matter right now. So a bunch of
List
List
it
them.
off,
List
give
them all. We
I
need
don't
to know
have
what's
them.
all in.
I don't
all
have
right,
them listed
all right.
in front of me.
I do. So
I do.
You got the 6th overall pick this year, the 16th overall pick this year, the 31st overall pick this year, then 2 first-rounders in 2022 via the Suns and Clippers, and 2 first-rounders in 2023 via the Heat and Nuggets. So you're
right.
getting, what, four future firsts in the next 2 years, 2 picks this year in the first round, and a second this year.
Let me just say that I absolutely love the core of D'Lo, Cat, and Ant, and it played very well last year when it played together. So the blowing it up is a tad questionable to me at this point. Yeah, do we drag in RJ now and see
The one thing I will say, the Wolves, I'm going to foreshadow here. This is not the last time we will see them tonight making a trade. I do question what they're going to do after the draft because they are going to have a lot of decisions to make with limited roster spots. So
they're gonna have to cut people.
With the 6th overall pick, the Wolves are on the clock via the Thunder. She Loves RJ is on the clock.
Hello?
RJ, you there? Uh-oh. We got some technical difficulties. Oh, how you doing?
Hi, sir.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Who are the Wolves taking with the 6th overall pick?
I mean, I can't believe I get to say this, but with the 6th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Jalen Suggs, guard from Gonzaga.
Thank you.
Fantastic pick.
Now,
I mean that is just...
I have a question because we didn't expect this to happen. We are not doing a second round, but if there was a second round, does this mean Ricky Rubio is gone? That a future after this draft or during this draft, if we allow trades, Ricky Rubio is no longer going to be a Minnesota Timberwolf, and the future at point guard is Suggs.
He already got traded.
Did he? I did not know.
I can also
I stopped listening after like 3 trades. You're the trade guy.
That is with the 15th pick. They received the Timberwolves traded Ricky Rubio, Juan Hernan Gomez, Josh Okogie, and Jarrett Culver, and they received Russell Westbrook in the 15th overall pick. So
is he the backup to Russ, or is he going to play next to Russ? Because D'Lo is getting moved at some point. I will bust that bubble right now.
Yep. Good question.
Perhaps the most active GM we've had.
What goes on? Where does Jalen Suggs fit in with this new Timberwolves team? Jake, I will let you go first, trade guy.
I don't really know, if I'm being honest. I think Jalen Suggs is a good first piece to have. I would love Jalen Suggs if they had not blown it up. Because Jalen Suggs, D'Lo, Ant, and Cat with McDaniels, now you're cooking. I guess Suggs is the cornerstone of the franchise going forward with Ant, and I don't know if Ant is the guy with Jalen Suggs. I guess.
John Cena that?
He said the franchise.
The franchise. So you're starting Russ, Suggs, Ant, and McDaniels with Naz Reid at center.
We will have to find out later. He still has multiple picks. The Wolves are active. Many picks later to come in this first round.
What do you think of the addition, Dave?
Look, I mean, it's a phenomenal trade if you think that that's the direction to take this franchise in a rebuild. Moving on from Cat, someone who prolific center offensively, but absolutely cannot win games. Seems like he's never focused on the game of basketball, number 1 in his life. Obviously, this past year suffered some tragedies in his personal life, and he played as well as you could expect coming out of that. You have to respect him for it, but at the same time, it does not wash away the past of the Timberwolves continually just being a disappointment. So I think a change of scenery is probably good for him, and I think it's probably good for the Timberwolves long term to reset while you still have that massive amount of value and contract control to get back a lot of assets.
Like you said, they're getting assets in boatloads for the future. They have now become the new Oklahoma City Thunder via the Thunder. But that leads us to the 7th overall pick. This was also moved. It was originally a Warrior pick. It now falls into the hands of the Pelicans. Jake, I will let you take it away. How did this pick go from Warriors to Pelicans?
Let me find it real quick. So the Warriors are acquiring Brandon Ingram. In return, the Pelicans are getting Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, 7 and 14. Now, can I just start off by I know I'm the reporter here and I'm supposed to say non-biased, but holy hell, the Warriors got robbed. I like Brandon Ingram a lot.
So I'm gonna come in real quick, and this is just a little. I'm pulling the curtain. I'm like opening the curtain for people to see. Jake was on one page. And I was on another page. I thought when I gave Jake the trade man duty that he was going to look at these trades and say, hey, this is one-sided. This can't go through, a la David Stern with CP3.
Commissioner up.
Instead, Jake saw it as long as the contracts work, we're going to put it through. So some of these trades, you can't be saying, well, it's lopsided. Because if it was lopsided, it should have gotten vetoed.
When the trades happen in the NBA, we see trades in the NBA and we say they're incredibly lopsided.
There's a degree.
It is the point of the league. The only reason David Stern stepped in is because the Pelicans were or the Hornets at that time were league owned and they were league operated, so they are allowed to step in at that point. Me, I don't own a team. I'm not allowed to step in and veto any trades. This is the 2K Discord mock. That's what it is. We let them have free reign. The Wizards.
Dave, I'm hearing a lot of excuses. Somebody didn't want to do some work.
Look, I do tend to say that on paper this does look a bit lopsided. Is Spider-Man available to come in, or is he still technical difficulty?
He said he fixed it, so let's try this out. Hello? Nope. I think it's the same.
Nope, not hearing him.
I don't think he's hearing us. He's going to have to make his picks through Discord.
That is unfortunate, because I'd love to speak to the man, the myth, the legend who fleeced the Warriors.
Fleeced the hell out of the Warriors. Oh, wait, he muted himself? Now he unmuted.
Now he unmuted. Let's see. Oh. No, it's not working.
All right, we'll move you back. I'll just ask him to make his pick via Discord.
Mm-hmm. But while we get the pick, you were saying, Dave.
No disrespect to Brandon Ingram, as Jake stated. We both love this. We love Brandon Ingram.
Yep.
But as far as talent goes, Andrew Wiggins and Brandon Ingram's fit, if you want to call it that, on this Warriors team, their role, I'm sorry for the value you're giving up. It just does not make sense to my mind. So I would hard pass this deal. I feel like the value is uneven. But hey, Pelicans, congratulations. You got a phenomenal player in Wiggins. You got a great up-and-coming talent potentially in Wiseman. And 2 picks. Well done. Well fucking done.
Jake, who's the pick?
Jake?
Ba-da-ding, ba-da-ding, ding, ding. With the 7th overall pick, the New Orleans Pelicans are selecting Josh Giddey, guard, Australia.
You know what?
Wow.
I will say I like this because many of my mocks before the last one I put out today, go ahead and check it out after this, I've had Josh Giddey to the Pelicans. They need shooting. If they're moving on from Lonzo, they could need another point guard to go along with Lewis Jr. Dave, I'll go to you first. What do you think about Giddey to the Pelicans?
Wow. So, value-wise, I think that this might be a tad bit high on my price scale for Josh Giddey's worth. But if you like your guy, you take your guy. Position be damned, big board be damned. That's just what it is. You got him up there. So they're trying to fill the role. They see Giddey as this big creator, somebody who can attack downhill and has great vision on the court, the second best passer of this draft class. Obviously, they are, I would have to assume, moving away from Lonzo Ball in this situation. He is an RFA. They could match offers coming in, or they could try to end up with a situation down the road where they sign and trade him after the fact when that opens up. But also, there are also rumors about the Pelicans making additional moves. I don't know if now's a good time to bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, they could be. I mean, has Spider-Man said he's going to bring up more moves?
They have made another move. I will say it now. The Dallas Mavericks have acquired Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, a 2023 first and 2 seconds. And the New Orleans Pelicans have acquired Kristaps Porzingis, playoff P. So
did this happen before the draft?
Way before the draft. This happened last night.
I was
happened last night. This happened last night. So now they have Zion, Porzingis, Josh Giddey, and sure, that's it. Basically, no Brandon Ingram.
Jake, here's my question to you.
And Andrew Wiggins and Wiseman. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Andrew Wiggins.
They have a very, very fun roster.
I think they did very good.
Here's my question.
And we're not even at the end. They still have 14.
Jake, and they do still have they have 10 and 14.
Correct.
So here's my question. Because they have 10, why not go with a Franz Wagner? They need defense on the outside. They need some shooting. Why not go Wagner here? Because now the Kings, or maybe not the Magic, but more so the Kings, could take him before 10. Why didn't they go Wagner here and then whatever point guard? You got Mitchell, Giddey, Sharif Cooper, all could be there by the 10th overall pick.
As the resident Josh Giddey fan, I believe Josh Giddey would have been there at 10 because I don't think the Magic or the Kings are taking Josh Giddey. I don't think he fits either of their teams. So in my mind, I would have probably targeted a Şengün, somebody of a big. Now that you have Wiseman, good addition. Still need another big, most likely with that team with Steven Adams being shipped out. Porzingis is there. What?
You're saying you need another big. You have Zion Williamson, and the whole problem with him as a big is you need to keep that paint clean. KP seemingly is the perfect fit next to him.
Correct. Then the bench, Wiseman, Şengün, backup 4-5. You still have 10 and 14 to fill out the guard and the wings position, and you still have Lonzo Ball as a restricted free agent. So it's not like this is the only pick that you have. I wouldn't have taken Giddey here. I would have leaned. I honestly don't know who I would have leaned. I wouldn't have leaned guard right at this pick. I would have taken best player available most likely, and I don't believe that is Josh Giddey at this point. Well,
also, I'm cutting in here because I'm going to throw you under the bus, Jake. The Pelicans don't have 10. The
Wizards have 10.
Because of the Bradley Beal trade we will get into.
Yes.
Like I said, there were a lot of trades here. So they don't have 10, they have 14.
It is hard to keep track of all these trades, people. It's a
little ridiculous. But, yeah, that was mainly my question of should they have gone maybe one place over Giddey.
Maybe a reach here, but at the same time, if we're talking about upsides, someone with wing size, guard, creation skills, it's a very in-demand skill. So, if he develops a shot, gets a little comfortable with the free throw line, no questions asked.
Also, thank you to Oscar for helping us out because, our master of trades can't get the right picks down. But we do have the Magic next. They are at 8. Tim is actually making the next 2 picks. We'll bring him in, talk about it, then bring him in again. He will make the Magic and the Kings pick, but first he'll be up for Orlando's second pick via the Bulls.
Bringing back the Stunner Shades.
We're the Stunner Shades, baby.
Tim, how we doing? How we doing? The Magic are back, baby.
Oh, love it.
Love it. Who are the Magic taking at 8 to add on to Scotty Barnes?
Pick in the NBA draft, Magic are taking James Bouknight out of UConn.
Oh, I like it.
You'll be back shortly, sir.
We will have him in like 2 seconds. So they take Bouknight. They're going the guard here. Should they have reversed it? Should they have gone Suggs and then a forward here, like maybe a Wagner, or maybe, Barnes is still here by now. We don't know. But did they make the right move going Barnes and then now Bouknight? I will go to Jake because he has very clear opinions about James Bookbust.
Yes, James Bookbust.
Whoa.
As he calls it. As
we are impartial.
Jake calls it.
We will not slander talent.
James Bouknight is an elite scorer, and nothing else about his game is good. So if you want a walking bucket, he is a walking bucket with nothing else. So freak athleticism with a walking bucket. That's about it.
You left off the fact that he can jump like 44 inches. That he has great awareness for him. Like, I shouldn't say great awareness. He has great ability to get to his spot on the court and then use his body to get in a great position to score from. He knows how to protect the ball at times while he's elevating. Like, he's not stripped often. I think that Bouknight is the scorer that Orlando is looking for to pair with Markelle Fultz in the backcourt. His deficiencies don't matter because you're playing around 3 elite defenders. I think this is the ideal fit. The question I will always ask is, you're getting the fit, but is he the best value for the pick? Sometimes there is a nice niche where they fall in the same line and the value meets the pick. I don't see this as a bad pick in any way. The only way that I could see this like going better, and I know our own big boards are, whatever, but like I'm not sure there's anyone I would rather take on the board right now for the Magic. Do you have anyone, Jake? I'd love to know.
Well, it depends. Okay. It depends the risk. Obviously, we still have a guy like Kuminga out there who's sitting on the boards, a guy like Jalen Johnson who have high ceilings, very low floors. So it depends. Yes. The Magic, I think it's similar to the situation we talked about earlier. Is they have a bunch of very good guys. I don't know if any of the guys they have can be the guy. So if you're sitting there at 8 and you want to get the guy, do you look at a Kuminga or a Jalen Johnson who can grow into a guy who people believe could be a star/superstar in the league? Is that your way? Or are you going to go safe with Bouknight? Bouknight will find his way into the league. He'll be a scorer. I don't know how much beyond that he'll be or what his ceiling really is. He's going to have to learn to make other players better if he wants to take that next step into the league. He's going to be a scorer, and he's going to be in the league. I just don't know how much he's going to improve his game from now and what benefit in 6 to 7 years he's going to have compared to the other guys who have high ceilings.
This would be the one situation where I would look, and I know we can't do it, but I would look to the Cavs and the Magic to see if they could make a deal happen, because I think Colin Sexton actually would be an excellent fit alongside Markelle Fultz and that defensive-focused Orlando Magic. I know that you would have to pay him, but his numbers are still fantastic, and they have all the money, and it's not like they're a free agent hotspot.
Can I just say something real quick? Would you consider Shagan?
He didn't even wait for an answer, by the way. He just went right into it.
With now Isaac and Barnes, would you consider Shagan?
That is, I think they would have a very crowded front court. Yeah. I'd be a little afraid because Chuma ideally is not playing I'm sorry, like Chuma's a 4.
Yeah.
You know, they can try to slide him down to the 3 to put him and Isaac on the court at the same time, and Barnes is a small ball 5, but that's just an incredible amount of defense. But I don't see a 20-point-a-game score on the court. If you went Şengün at this point, yes, you could, but you'd have to get creative with the lineups, and you might stunt the growth. We all expect Isaac to take that next step this year. I love watching his offseason highlights.
Healthy.
He and Chum are both amazing talents. I think that if you went Barnes, then the chance of taking Şengün at this point is very low. I just don't see I feel like one eliminates the other because you would force the playing time out of his hands.
For me, it's not a Şengün. It's the only flip I could see here is there might be a section of people that say, well, I would have taken Suggs at 5 and then either Barnes or Kuminga.
That's fair.
Like that's the
That's entirely fair. Where do you take? I'm not going to doubt the man with the stunners.
Yeah, I'm not either. But like the thing that threw, I will say, this all up in a hizzy is probably the Raptors pick, because the Magic, I will say, heading into it, Moses Moody was on their radar, and no one expected Moses Moody go 4 to the Toronto Raptors. But we will bring in the stunning shaders. I can't speak right. We'll bring in Tim again. He's going to pick for the Kings, who have their first pick of the night. Tim, who are the Kings picking?
He switched it up.
He's got the fucking. He's got the Tom Cruise fucking battle.
This man has an arsenal of shades.
This is a new GM.
I love it.
This is a new GM. Dave,
That's right. This is the Kings GM. I apologize.
It's the 9th pick. Sacramento Kings select Franz Wagner out of Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna outright clap and say, this is the least Kangs thing you could possibly do. Congratulations.
This is
Dave. I want to go to Dave first for one question, Jake. Sorry.
I'll be quick.
How happy are you that they did the right thing and take Franz Wagner over someone you have slandered in the past? A different video in Jalen Johnson, because some people thought Jalen Johnson might be the pick here.
Well, I think Jalen Johnson has the talent to go 9th overall. Shit, he has the talent to go 6th overall. The problem is that Jalen Johnson is not mentally right. He's not all in on the game of basketball. He has his own personal values, and what he thinks he's capable of versus what he's shown on the court are very different things right now. Unless he's surrounded by the right support staff and right guys, right coaches, right strength and conditioning guys, this is a talent who will be completely wasted, bust out of the league, and absolutely be fucking worthless. I think Sacramento did the right thing here and took a can't-miss talent like Wagner, someone who has all the fucking intangibles, will be a plug-and-play player day one, and everyone thinks that he's capped off at a role player. I disagree. I think that he has Harrison Barnes, great comp, honestly, right away, value. Like, he's someone who could be a 20-point-a-game scorer. He could be someone who makes a major impact on a team. But the fact that he comes in already as a ready-made role player who plays incredible defense and can knock down catch-and-shoot balls, yes, this is an excellent pick.
Jake, you were going to say.
It's inside conversation earlier this week when when I was talking to the GM of the Kings, they asked me, how do I not Kings this? And I said, just take Franz Wagner at 9. It'll be fine. I think Dave and I spoke about it in our reaction to mock drafts. Franz Wagner, there at 9. Take him. That's it. Just take him. There's nothing else you need to do. Just take him. Take Tyrese Haliburton, De'Aaron Fox, and Franz Wagner going forward. And then whatever happens with Harrison Barnes and whatever happens with your front court.
Now, the one thing I will say, this is me bringing the real world into our Discord mock, is when we get to the actual draft, it'll be interesting to see if the Kings actually pick here, because everything their front office has said is that they've kind of made comments that make it think like, hey, there's a lot of people in this draft that could help us, to where maybe they move back for maybe someone who has 2 picks later on that they want to add quantity over quality in the draft. So,
but you also can't count out the fact that they were in discussions with the 76ers earlier as well. And that is something.
It is basically the Warriors and the Kings have basically both been ruled out because the Sixers view De'Aaron Fox as a starting point. And if he is not included in any deal, there will be no deal done. Same thing with the Warriors. they're not taking a deal with Andrew Wiggins in the deal with the Sixers. So I think both of those have slightly been eliminated from that. Now,
I would not say De'Aaron Fox is off the table for the Kings. Because they are the Kings.
The Kings have made it clear, apparently, in talks, De'Aaron Fox is off the table. But I want to throw another name out there, is that if the Sixers are looking to salary dump, the Kings should be in for a guy like Tobias Harris, especially if they take Franz Wagner. You could plug Franz and Tobias at the 3-4 flex and then get a center with Sean Holmes, whoever you want. I think that is Tobias Harris elevates that team, honestly, if they play De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Haliburton, gives them a second scoring option behind De'Aaron Fox. Just an option.
Dave, we haven't talked about this much, but I will ask it before we go on to the Wizards. Give me a percentage. What percentage do you think that Holmes is gone and not staying with the Kings?
About 80%. Okay. It would take a large bag to get this man to come back. He was not someone who loved the style of play, and I think that he would fit very well on multiple other teams. I think Charlotte, as Jake mentioned. I think that the Raptors are another team who are sniffing around, and I would not be surprised to see the Suns looking for him as well. I think that Dallas is a team that's interested. I think he has a playoff-level talent, and I think he will fit in instantly with so many teams because of what he has proven. So I think he's a hot name who will probably get a contract that maybe in 10 years people will be like, man, how the fuck is this the next generation of the Luol Deng contract? Like, we don't know. But I believe in him. I love Rashawn Holmes. I've talked highly of him for years now. So let's think about him as a great center, one of the best centers available right now in free agency.
So, Jake, I'm going to kick it over to you because the Pelicans are not picking at 10. The Wizards are at 10. How did the Washington Wizards get the 10th overall pick in this draft?
So, the Washington Wizards acquired Jackson Hayes, Kira Lewis Jr., the 10th pick, and 2 firsts and a second from the Pelicans to acquire, and they traded Bradley Beal to New Orleans.
That's interesting.
Wow.
So New Orleans gets everyone.
So who's everyone that the Pelicans now got now?
Sorry.
These new additions?
Sorry. I got to go through all the Pelicans players. Pelicans now have Kristaps Porzingis. They also have Bradley Beal. They have Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, and they took Josh Giddey, and they have another pick at 14. I got to give a round of applause.
They overhauled their team.
I got to give a round of applause. They fixed that team. You need a second score option? How about I get you Andrew Wiggins and Bradley Beal? How about I give you both of them?
Our New Orleans fans saying, hey, Spider, why don't you come on in and take Griffin's job because you're doing way better than he is?
And Porzingis is now the fourth option like he should be.
I mean, this is one of the best flips I've ever seen. In a single season of 2K, I don't think I've ever seen a team upgrade. I haven't even successfully upgraded a team this much in one offseason. Well done.
Crazy.
We will bring in then JD for the Wizards pick. Who are they taking at 10? JD, how we doing?
He's deafened.
Yeah. JD, how we doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
So the Don, the GM of the Wizards, who are you taking with the 10th overall pick?
With the 10th overall pick, the Washington Wizards select Trey Mann, guard out of Florida.
Okay, thank you.
This is kind of high for Trey Mann. Dave, your face very...
No, that's
okay,
inside sources. I'm just saying inside sources. The GM of the Wizards is a biased Florida fan, so just carry that with what you will.
Dave, with that being said, what do you think?
Let's think about all the moves the Wizards have made so far.
Russ is out of time.
So, the Bradley Beal trade. They got back Jackson Hayes, Kira Lewis Jr., 10, 2 firsts, and a second. So, we got a springy center in town. Love to hear it. And Kira, someone who has great upside. We spoke very well of last season during the draft, or last year during the draft. In a trade they also made. I don't know if we want to jump to that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
In a trade they also made, the Wizards have also traded away Chandler Hutchinson and Daniel Gafford for Jalen Smith and the 29th pick. Jalen Smith, someone who saw very little playing time last year. Injury, COVID, basically never played for the Suns. So I think that that's a fantastic value. Then in another trade, they traded away they traded away Russell Westbrook and 15. This was the Timberwolves deal. For Rubio, Hernan Gomez, Okogie, and Culver, which basically amounts to
one more deal.
just rolling the dice on if Jared Culver can figure out how to play basketball again. I think Rubio's still a fantastic guard. He's an upgrade over Ish Smith, who a dear friend of mine. at the backup guard. But then, yes, there's another trade, which I am locating. Oh, my God. It's
the
29th pick for Grant Williams and a lottery-protected first and second 2021. So they have a lot of guys on this roster.
You think?
An absolute lot of guys on this roster. So to go Trey Mann here.
It's a reach. I can't call it anything but a reach. And the reason why is I know, Jake, like you said, insider information, that the Don is a Florida fan. But, like, even if you're looking for two guards, like, you've got Keon Johnson, Jaden Springer, like, Chris Duarte.
Well, that's a great question. Does he view Trey Mann as a point guard, a combo guard, or a shooting guard?
I would take Sharif or Davion before Trey if I'm looking for a point guard.
Jake, do you have any
you know my
insights
opinions
into,
on Sharif Cooper.
This situation.
That's like a Mr. Fantastic reach right there with that pick. Yeah, I mean, Sharif Cooper's still on the board, Davion Mitchell's still on the board, Jared Butler's still on the board, all rated way higher than Trey Mann on my boards. I don't dislike Trey Mann. I'm just not quite sure what his role is perfectly in the NBA. And you have guys, I think if you would have taken Jared Butler here, I wouldn't have blinked an eye. I would have been like, it's a great pick. I think Jared Butler can end up in that late lottery, late back end of the top 10. And I just think there's better fits. If you were going to take a guy like Trey Mann, I would have rather taken a gamble on a Kuminga or a Jalen Johnson who have high ceilings.
So moving on then, we have another trade. The 11th pick was on the move. And before we get into the 11th pick, I have to throw someone under the bus here because he was very selly and just sold all his picks. Philly Sean, just trade everything away. Like, oh, did you not want to pick tonight in the Discord, my guy?
He also mentioned to me that he doesn't have any picks and he couldn't make it tonight. So I think he had an ulterior motive.
He had an ulterior motive. I would have liked these picks maybe to be in other hands, though, so that we actually get some picks there. But a trade was made. Jake, how are the Pistons taking at 11 and not the Hornets?
Okay. I enjoy this pick. With the 11th pick, the Detroit Pistons are taking
the trade. The trade.
I was sorry. I was reading the message of the. I was reading the pick up. Like
I know you went into it. I know.
Pick, and I was like, sorry. The Pistons
selective listening.
Yeah, it is what happens with you sometimes. The Pistons acquire P.J. Washington, Vernon Carey Jr. in the 11th overall pick, and the Hornets receive Jeremy Grant, a 2023 lottery-protected first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks from the Detroit Pistons.
Now, value-wise, what do you think? What strikes you here? Because obviously the best player in this is Jeremy Grant, but P.J., Vernon, and 11. For Grant, a 20.
I think it's honestly out of all the deals that were made, I don't mind that one nearly as much as I mind others because I like PJ Washington if he can stay healthy as a small ball 5. Jeremy Grant was great, but he's a guy you can sell high on when you have Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, and now Cade Cunningham in the mix, and whoever you take at this pick. Now you kind of can start playing your young guys more. You got a guy. I would expect that if you're trading Jeremy Grant, eventually Mason Plumlee would also be dealt in the offseason so that guys like Isaiah Stewart can get more playing time. It's just to get the young guys more playing time and selling high on Jeremy Grant.
Do you think Jeremy Grant's showing up here in, why can't I, New Orleans? Hornets?
Charlotte.
My brain is Charlotte. Thank you. My brain just farted there. What does that mean for Gordon Hayward? Is he out?
He's got to be gone. Yeah.
He out? Okay. A move to be made later.
Before Jake gives us the pick, I do have sources close to the Wizards, just going back to their pick really quick, saying that 2 of the guys that they were going to take were already taking off the board. So going with their third option in Trey Mann and Jake, that brings me to you. Who are the Pistons taking at 11?
Well, with the 11th pick in the NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons are taking Jonathan Kuminga. Forward, ignite. Makes sense.
Now, my question here is because, Soapy, our resident Piston fan, has talked at length about how this Piston team has some guys they want to bring back, and they have limited roster spots. So in his mind, they're taking Cade, and then maybe trading up into the first for 1 pick, and then the 1 second they leave, they'll do a draft and stash. Dave, what does drafting Jonathan Kuminga mean for Hamidou Diallo? Is his days in Detroit done?
I mean, he was a dish at the end of last year from the Thunder because they did not want to pay him. He had a very good season by all accounts, I don't know that he's going to be back there long term. I think that was just a, hey, play out the end of your season here in Detroit. Maybe we'll offer you something. We'll see what the market dictates. But if anything, this is the end of Sekou Doumbouya in Detroit. Someone who Sean loved. Someone who Sean spoke so highly of as a raw talent. It never came together for him. Jonathan Kuminga is someone who at least has the offensive game. And I think that the contract control here is key. It's the timeline. Jeremy Grant, I see in chat already. Kuminga at 11 and we trade Grant and get PJ2, I'd do it. Exactly. Like, you are changing the timeline of this team around Cade, Killian, Sadiq Bey, Beef Stew. Like, you have such a great young core. And I think, to the point made earlier, I don't know that I would move on from a Plumlee. I love the idea of having him as a vet on this team. I think he's a phenomenal vet, great locker room presence. You don't just want to have a bunch of young kids in there. So I would love this move for Kuminga as a high upside wing with downhill talent. Like, this could be something special.
That brings us, with the Pistons, moving on. 12, the Spurs. OG Buddy, who did make the pick for the Raptors earlier, taking Moses Moody, will be in to make the Spurs pick at 12. OG, how we doing? Still muted. Oh, still muted.
Hello.
OG, if you're there.
There he is. There.
Hello.
You hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. Who are the Spurs taking at number 12?
With the 12th pick in the NBA draft, the Spurs are selecting Sharif Cooper, point guard out of Auburn.
Thank you,
Dave. I have to go to you. I have to go to you first. Gush on Sharif Cooper because you're the only one in this call that probably likes him.
I have him 13. Don't say that I don't like him. I have him 13.
He's pretty much right where Jake has him on his big board. I have him much higher for reasons, obviously. But the Spurs made it clear that they're willing to move on from DeJounte Murray and White. Yep. So I think that sent a sign out to the universe that, hey, we want a point guard who is maybe more traditional, maybe someone who is better facilitator, happy to take shots, happy to get to the line. Something that DeJounte Murray has worked on for a while. And again, I love Murray. I fucking straight love the value of his pick at the time. Loved him as a developmental project. And he's done well, and I think he's a defensive monster. So with this, I would expect the Spurs to move on and package, either one or both of these players to move on. And I think that Cooper is the future. Cooper, Lonnie Walker, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell. I fucking love this pick.
Yeah, I mean, in my mock, I had him going to point guard for exactly what Dave said. DeJounte and White are gone. You need someone to come in and run the ship. Jake, what are you thinking?
Fully agree with what Dave said. I probably would have leaned other places with this pick, but I don't mind the pick of Sharif Cooper. It's right around where I had him on my big board. Second best passer in the draft.
Best passer in the draft class.
Second best passer in the draft.
Look at all the stats. Look at the vision. Look at what he's done on the court. Everything tells you he is the best passer in the draft class. Assist to turnover ratio, points created for others, shooting percentage when assisted by. Everything points to him. Advanced stats point to him. You're just wrong.
Second best passer in the draft. Yeah, but going 13 is good. The best passer already won in the draft, so it signifies who's better. And, Sharif Cooper, I don't know if he could be the cornerstone of a franchise, but he could be a point guard for a very long time. So I don't hate the pick, and especially if DeJounte and White are gone, it makes sense way more sense.
Before we get into our next owner, which I cannot wait to see what the owner of the Pacers has in store. Dave, I got one question for you, however. As we all know, for the MVP staff, you have some close connections, some sources with the Chicago Bulls. You hearing anything about them maybe getting a DeJounte Murray now that Sharif Cooper is officially a Spur?
I would say that the Bulls were very interested when they heard DeJounte Murray was visible. Initially, remember, Murray was potentially tossed into the, hey, let's just kick around Ben Simmons, see what the price is over there. We'll just make it known that these guys are available if you're interested. But I think the Bulls would be very interested in DeJounte Murray, someone who can distribute, someone who can defend, seemingly a runner-up prize to Alonzo Ball if he were to go elsewhere this offseason.
Do you think a package? What would be your package for DeJounte from the Bulls before we go to the Pacers?
I mean, you have to hope you can convince them to like a white European big. I mean, that might be a stretch for the Spurs.
Some people are saying they do. Some people are saying Lowry might fix some problems for the Spurs. I say take my trash.
You would probably have to give up Kobe, Lowry, and a future something to get him and maybe another piece. I think that's about right. Yeah.
But that'll bring us to the Pacers, 13th overall pick. Let's bring in the Pacers GM, Tim. Tim, how we doing? The Indiana Pacers on the clock. Where are you going with 13?
With the 13th pick, Indiana Pacers select Jalen Johnson out of Duke.
Duke? I will say, while we've got you...
shit.
You got him out.
Shit. I
didn't
know.
Him out. I had one comment for him, but I will say it here.
Bring him back.
You can bring him back if you want.
Bring him back.
Tim,
Bring him back.
He's deafened. He's deafened. He cannot hear me.
Tim, come back.
He cannot... He can't hear me.
Give him 10 seconds. I'll give him 10 seconds.
Message him.
If not, I'll just say it.
Actually, we can pause for a second. We can pause. We'd like to thank Bravo for the $4.99 donation.
Super chat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super chat. He says, as Stone Cold says, if y'all enjoy watching the show, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I love Stone Cold.
Right there.
But yeah, Tim's gone. Let's we'll bring him out. I'm just saying, the one thing I was hoping...
He just came back.
Bring him back in here. Tim, there's one thing I wanted to say to you. There's one thing I was hoping from your outfit. The straw hat and like the little piece of straw coming out of your mouth. That's the only thing I wanted from it.
What?
Indiana.
Raw?
Indiana.
He thinks you're a farmer.
Yeah.
What are we sipping? Pause from the draft. What are we sipping on there?
This is some rum and iced tea.
Ooh, that is nice.
Taking some drinks.
That
So
is
you
nice.
and Dave
Respect.
All right, we'll see you back in a little bit.
Tim will be back. The Pacers do have a pick later on. Jalen Johnson. Dave, I got to go to you first, as you have been one of the harshest criticizers of a Jalen Johnson heading into this year's draft.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about the move they made in the front office. They went out and they got themselves one of the best coaches in the league and Rick Carlisle. So if we've got Rick Carlisle in the front office, do we believe he's the right kind of leader to, pair Jalen Johnson to? Someone who he can take under his wing, someone who he can make sure, hey, we're on track doing the right things. We're going to fit well. Now, timeline, I think this Pacers team doesn't know which direction they're going. I think they've made offers out there to move on from core pieces of their team. I think the pairing of Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner has been it's lived its time, and it's time to move on. So
can I interrupt? We did not mention that the Indiana Pacers did make a trade. They received Danilo Gallinari, the 26th pick, and a 2022 OKC first-round lottery protected pick, and they traded to OKC Miles Turner. So Miles Turner is gone.
How was Gallo on OKC though?
He was traded in the original trade where the Hawks traded Isaiah Roby in the 18th pick for Danilo Gallinari in the 20th pick.
What a fucking spiderweb to unwind here. So they did move on.
Yeah,
the Pacers did move on from Miles Turner. They added in that floor spacing by going after Gallo. They added that 26 overall pick and then a 2022 lottery protected OKC first. So well done to them. I would honestly say they shuffled around a little bit, but they added an amazing floor spacing. Obviously, the rim protection might be a concern if you're going to play Sabonis at the 5 and go with that 4-out kind of lineup. But Jalen Johnson, I mean, if you're talking about value here at number 13 overall, I don't know if there's a guy on my board with higher upside. There's one.
Some are saying top 10 pick for Jalen Johnson. You get him just outside at 13.
Yeah. So I mean, it's great value, and again, it depends on the timeline. If this is a team that's going to make another couple moves, or if you're just going to bring it along with, hey, we've got vets on this roster, we're going to be a continually competitive team in the Eastern Conference, pushing in the playoffs. I have no problems. This is one of those situations where I like Johnson to a team.
I will say there was, from sources that I heard, there was a little conflict inside the Indiana war room of some people telling the GM, Tim, that, hey, we need somebody who's more NBA ready. We need someone to step in and help us win. That's why we brought Rick Carlisle on. Tim sticking to his guns, though. Coming in with the rum and iced tea saying, no, this is who we're going with. This is who I believe is the future with the Pacers. But that brings us to the Pelicans. Spider-Man is again on the clock. They got the pick from the Warriors in a deal earlier. Jake, if you want to say it again, you can. But if you don't, I don't blame you. But do you have the pick for the Warriors at 14?
I do have the pick for the Warriors.
Or the Pelicans, I'm sorry.
Pelicans.
Oh, no, it was the Warriors pick initially, and
but now it's the Pelicans.
We already knew. It was the Brandon Ingram for James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, 7 and 14.
The robbery.
The most lopsided deal of the 2010s, or 2020s. We're in 2020 now. With the 14th overall pick, the New Orleans Pelicans will go with their veteran theme, and as their GM would state, they will take the best shooter in the draft, Corey Kispert, out of Gonzaga.
Dave, I hate going to you again, but there's probably, we went from one player you criticize heavily to another player that I think you just straight up hate. You just straight up do not like his game, Corey Kispert. What do you think about Kispert going to the Pels?
It's a strong word. I'd like to open with that one line.
I said his game. I said his game. You don't hate him as a person.
I believe that he is a catch-and-shoot monster. I just think that is... a situation where we're not sure what he'll be able to provide on the defensive side, whether he's playing the 3 or the 4 at the next level, physically and foot speed, hip speed wise, what he can do to not be a liability out there, not to be pick and rolled to death, not to be switched on and targeted by other teams, by a team that by all rights will be an absolute fucking monster come playoff time in this Pelicans roster. Here's the thing. They don't need to swing for the fences. They have phenomenal talent on this roster right now. We talked about with the pieces they've added. I'm not opposed to going for a role player with a limited, exposability. Hey, we can put him in the lineup in situations where Beal needs rest or where KP needs rest or Wiggins. Hey, we just add a shooter on the court. I wouldn't take him here, but at the same time, I don't think it's the worst idea. I think that personally, and again, this is not my draft, but I would have looked to someone like Chris Duarte here who's available to give them another ball handler. That is my only concern when looking at this current roster as composed by this Pelicans team. I think that adding another ball handler would be pretty key to them. And they have money still probably to spend, but and assets like crazy. So who's to say?
And the one thing I will say, I'm getting, just got the text on my phone. I was speaking to the GM of the Washington Wizards, a little bit of inside source here, that earlier we questioned the Pelicans pick of Giddey, of why not go with a Franz Wagner because you can get that guard later. Giddey was higher on the board for the Wizards, so it's good that the Pelicans went with Giddey when they did, because he probably would have been a Wizard and wouldn't have made it to this pick.
Love the insights. I appreciate
that. That is also when we thought that the Pelicans had 10. So they would have been picking the pick of the Wizards pick. So that was a little confusion there. But yeah, Corey Kispert steps in, good role player, can stretch the floor, defensively, hit or miss at times. I don't know exactly where he'll fit in defensively, but with the team that he's on, I think the offense is going to be the main focus regardless, because of how many guys on that team can just get buckets.
Yeah, he's not even playing a Joe Harris role. He is a bench, 10 minutes a night kind of a guy.
He's playing the TLC role.
Yeah.
Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot.
So
great shout out. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
The next few picks before we bring in She Loves RJ. She Loves RJ is going to make 2 picks, by the way. The Wolves have the next 2 picks at 15 and 16. He's going to be making a lot more picks, Dave, because he's got Wolves and Hawks coming up as well. But before we get into 15, 16, have him come in and make both those picks in one swoop. How did this happen, Jake? Break it down yet again in case people are coming in and not sure how the Wolves are at 15 and 16.
Yeah, so the Wolves got the 15th overall pick and Russell Westbrook for Ricky Rubio, Juan Hernan Gomez, Josh Okogie, and Jarrett Culver. And how did they get this? And the 16th pick was also they traded Karl-Anthony Towns to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they received a boatload of picks along with Darius Bazley, Pokusevski, Theo Maledon, the 6th pick in this draft, which turned into Jalen Suggs, and then the 16th overall pick also that they are about to be making.
So let's bring in RJ. and we'll see who the Wolves are taking with their next 2 picks. RJ, how you doing? You there?
One moment.
Okay. Did he text you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just assuming.
Where'd you go?
Oh, there he is.
Go.
For the next 2 picks, who are the
may
Wolves
both.
taking at 15 and 16?
With the 15th pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves are selecting Keon Johnson, guard from Tennessee. And with the 16th pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves are also selecting Zaire Williams, forward.
Okay. Yep. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will say first, I love these picks. I love both of them because they're getting a lot of picks this first round. Keon Johnson adds something that I've said they've needed since last year, some defense on this team. And then also Zaire Williams, like if there's any spot for him to just like, hey, we can let you play and develop and, you know, there's no pressure on you to perform right away. It's the Wolves. Jake, I'll go to you first because I've gone to Dave a lot because of Jalen Johnson and Corey Kispert. What do you think of Keon Johnson and Zaire Williams going to the Wolves?
This is like the complete opposite spectrum for me with the picks. Keon Johnson, I have rated as the top 7 prospect in this draft. Dave and I went into talks at length about him in our big board. Check it out after this down below on our channel. Keon Johnson, athletic freak. Him and Ant would be incredible to watch together. Defensively, he could help and improve over the years, I would assume as well. Keon has to develop a shot. It's plain and simple. If he develops a shot, he has superstar potential. Doesn't develop a shot, he could be a low-end role player, most likely strictly defensive. Then Zaire Williams, I don't have him rated as the first-round prospect. The body is there, and then everything else is not there. So maybe with this Timberwolves team, you could see him spend a year in the G League, maybe 2 years in the G League, whatever it would be, because I don't think he'd be ready to jump in right now and play with this team. Maybe some bench minutes, but I think that hinders his growth. I think he needs to either be on a very bad team where he can get a lot of minutes and improve, or he could be on a G League team and just play as many minutes as he can. I love Keon Johnson. I love the pick here. He can grow and play next to Jalen Suggs and Anthony Edwards. And then you get a guy in Zaire Williams who is the prototypical boom or bust pick. So having this many picks and taking a Zaire Williams, I don't hate it because you're going to get other guys like a Jalen Suggs who's almost a first sure thing, and Keon Johnson who at least can be a role player at his worst. So taking a guy boom or bust Zaire Williams, I don't mind it.
Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that when you're in the situation to take 2 massive upside picks, but also potentially absolutely worthless talents, this is a perfect spot. Like this is, Jake said boom or bust. I agree. These are 2 guys who will either find their stride and improve their game, or I think that Keon has the higher chance of washing out. I think that because of Zaire's size and basic skills with basketball, his fundamentals, I don't see him washing out anytime soon. I think he'd bounce around the league for about 5+, 7+ years, maybe even. Just guys, athletes with his, basic ability. I don't see them washing out. Keon, I have concerns. His size, yes, but then his jumping ability, his athleticism, his defensive tenacity, like shit you can't teach, that's there. So I agree that you've got the shots to take, but I'm trying to, after all of these moves, I'm trying to picture what this Timberwolves lineup looks like, and I am frankly struggling. I know they have Russell Westbrook. I know they still have Ant. I know they still have McDaniels. They drafted Suggs.
And now they're adding Keon and Williams.
I love the team if Russell Westbrook wasn't there. If Russell Westbrook gets moved or something, then you just go full youth and you play the young guys. Because you can start a team of Jalen Suggs, Keon Johnson, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, and whoever at the 5.
We are full 2K.
And I
literally no, that is yes, but that is the option they chose by blowing it up and trading.
And I will say the Wolves will be back. They have the 19 and the 21st picks. We will hear about those later. They have the Knicks picks that the Knicks have. So one of the things the Wolves are going to have to do after this draft is they got to figure out how many roster spots they're going to have. Because that is one concern I had with them heading into this draft.
Their G League team is going to be incredible. That's all I'm going to say.
Will they be the Summer League champions?
The Blue Coats better be scared.
Well, Paul Reed's not going to be on the Blue Coats this year, so we're screwed. Like J-Dub said, Zaire Williams, 2022 G League MVP.
Yeah, all exactly. Right. But we have OG Buddy coming back in to make a pick for, I will say, this is his favorite team. This is the one he rides or dies for, the Memphis Grizzlies. What?
Okay. You go.
I would be moving Russ after the draft. That's my mindset.
Okay. There you go. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense then.
Hello? OG, how we doing?
There he is.
What's up?
So this is your team. I've already said that. We can tell by the logo for your Discord. If anyone can't tell, it's the Grizzlies. Who's Memphis taking at 17?
They're taking the forward out of Auburn, JT Thor, the God of Thunder.
Thank you, sir.
The God of Thunder. Dave, you are clapping. How much do you love this pick?
Well, Jake, I want to throw it to Jake real quick because there was a trade that happened too that we have not mentioned quite yet.
Okay.
Well, he becomes JJ Jor now, so just remember that.
That's right.
JJ Jor.
JT Jor.
JJ Jor.
JJ Jor. There you go.
We're getting rid of the T. He's JJ Jor.
I would say it's only the first letters we changed.
Yeah.
It's Jor.
JT Jor.
There's no T's. No.
JT Jor.
I
like JT Jor.
No,
yeah, it sounds better.
No, because JT, his name is a J and a T, so the name first letter is a T. So
yeah, but his actual first name is JT, so it's JT.
The JT stands for something. It's not just JT.
Then Jaren Jackson Jr., like, what does he become?
JJJ.
No, he's Jaren Jackson Jr.
Already.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
So it's JT Jor.
Y'all are ridiculous. Let's move on to the trade.
Sorry, which trade am I looking at? Sorry, I lost my frame of mind.
For Grizzlies.
Don't talk down to me like that. The Grizzlies have acquired OG Anu Buckets, or Anunoby, as other people call him, and a second-round pick, and they have traded Jonas Valanciunas, Kyle Anderson, and Sir Triple-Lot, Grayson Allen.
Go fuck yourself.
I mean, I do. I mean, his name is Sir Triple-Lot because he's a trash-ass, non-biased.
He's one of the best 3-and-D players in the NBA right now. He's a guard with great ball handling skills, facilitating. He rebounds well for his size.
I said
he's
person.
An incredible talent to have on any team who wants to compete. That what I want to hear?
Trash-ass person because he tripped people. Correct.
Yeah, he's passionate. You said it.
Okay, that's not passionate.
Now, I like this because we're addressing a potential hole here. Mm-hmm. You know, if we're moving on from JV and we have JJJ going to a center role, JT Thor someone who can step in. Athletic, long, helps defend, and again, he can knock down shots, he attacks the basket. Love a lot about this. And again, the OG and newbie trade, like, hey, you add in someone who is just a 3-and-D monster, slashing god. Like, I love what this is doing. This flip, and I know Valanciunas was effective in the playoffs, and I think a lot of people kind of forget how good he can be at times. But I like the shift to a more athletic front court. I like going in this direction. I think that it's the right move at the end of the day. So, well done.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think this is the range for JT Thor. Athletic freak who can stretch the floor. I think is exactly what they need. Memphis still needs to find that kind of second guy for them. I'm not sure OG Anunoby or JT Thor is that, but shifting, like you said, to an athletic front court, I think is the move. Playing with John Morant and having basically 5 guys who are able to stretch the floor is huge, especially when playing around a point guard like John Morant, who can drive, has the driving ability and the passing ability that he does. So I love it all around. They still are going to be searching for that second guy to put next to John Morant. I know Jalen Brooks had those games in the playoffs. I don't believe in him as a long-term option, like secondary option. But yeah, and also, thank you, Tim. It is JG Jor. Move on.
No, it's JT Jor. That's what it is. I made the rule years ago when we brought it up.
It's the first name's change, and his second name, it starts with a T. So the T changes to a J, so it becomes JJ Jor.
Yeah, but his first name is JT.
Let it die, people.
You change every name.
Let it die. We are an hour and a half into this.
You're just wrong. You're both
17.
Wrong. So, as I was gonna say, the next 4 picks, we're gonna hear from RJ a lot because the next 4 picks are coming from him. 2 Wolves and a Hawks. We will bring him in to make the Hawk pick at 18 that they got in a trade with the Thunder. That was a swip and a swap between Roby and Gallinari and swapping picks 18 and 20.
You just like making up words.
I accidentally said swip and I went with it. Swip and a swap. RJ, how we doing?
Welcome back. Give him time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh. No.
It's green.
It's green. It's lighting up, but I don't hear anything.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you now. Who are the Hawks taking at 18, RJ?
Okay. With the 18th pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Davion Mitchell, guard, Baylor.
All right. We'll see you in a minute.
I will say, stay on standby. You're coming right back.
We'll be back in a minute.
So Davion Mitchell falls to 18. Jake, are you surprised by this? Some people have him top 10.
No, this is actually, I had him around 15 in my big board, so this is about the range I think he should go. His teammate, I am very shocked, has not been taken yet. But Davion ending up, I'm pretty sure Dave and I did this in Reacting to Mocks, his exact pick, and we both loved it because we think Davion playing as an off-ball guard next to Trae Young. Defensively, he can play two ways. Mm-hmm. He's the perfect, this team has an abundance of wing talent, and he just adds on to that, and also adds on to a more refined ball handler than, say, a guy like Kevin Huerter is at the moment. So being able to plug and play, I think Davion Mitchell, I'm not sold on his star potential that people have after his one-year wonder at Baylor, but I think he can step in and be a very, very solid NBA player, and I love him as a secondary ball handler next to Trae Young.
Now, I agree with Jake. I probably would have taken the teammate to Davion Mitchell here. I would have taken Jared Butler if I was the Hawks, but, the Hawks believe in Davion Mitchell and what he can be in this backcourt. Dave, do you agree with it? Do you agree that Davion Mitchell's the right pick here at 18?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad one. I don't know necessarily it's the best pick. I don't want to be a record here, but same. I think that the point is the Hawks are addressing what they lacked last year, or this past year, I should say, in depth at the guard position off the bench. Chris Dunn was the plan. They knew he was hurt going into the season. He was not able to string together enough healthy games to ever get back to game shape. Again, I think that he is probably, with this pick, no longer going to be, with the team. They would likely move on from him after he accepts his deal, which is fine. I would not blame him for it. But again, the deal, they knew going into it was going to be a 2-year deal. Mm-hmm. I think that the Hawks, again, Davion Mitchell, secondary ball handler, they can flex him out there with Trae Young at the same time if they need to. But this is a team that's playoff ready. They are deep. But now I'm surprised moving off of Gallo and the spacing he creates. I'm scanning the trades quickly, and I don't see a replacement at the wing, which means they better have re-signed John Collins in the coming weeks.
Correct. I believe. Can I say that RJ is a Hawks fan, and he has been adamant about bringing John Collins back. So
okay, that is all I need to know then. Yeah. Then I understand, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That is a solid pick. You filled the need and in the right range.
Couple things I will say. Number one, Bravo asked in YouTube chat, are you guys doing a mock second round too? No, this is only first round. I will say, if you do want second round analysis, I have a mock out that's 2 rounds. Jake will have one out on Monday that is will be 2 rounds as well. So you guys will get your 2-round analysis from us. And before we bring in the Wolves, I did want to mention one of the storylines coming up right now. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, John, I just want to correct something. John in chat said Butler is not cleared medicals. That is not true. The NBA has cleared him to play basketball in the NBA. So he has been cleared medically.
Yep, because you guys talked about that on your big board, I believe.
Yes. Well, he wasn't cleared at the time, but Dave had him on his because the rumors were that he was going to be cleared.
One of the videos I watched,
he was cleared on
Wednesday. He was cleared on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Wednesday or Tuesday.
Of course, we record on Monday.
Yeah. Yes. So the thing that I will bring up before I bring the Wolves in, there are some interesting fallers as we get into 20. A lot of bigs not being taken right now. Şengün, Kai Jones. We've got Şengün. Jackson, Kai Jones, Garuba, all of them still available. Really, the biggest faller is Şengün, and we're gonna have to see if what do these bigs do in the last few picks. But with that being said, let's bring in the Wolves.
Welcome back,
RJ. When you are ready, who are the Wolves taking at 19?
The Minnesota Timberwolves are selecting Alperen Şengün, center out of Turkey.
There we go. Thank you.
Well done.
I speak it into existence and it happens.
Just wait till you see the next pick.
Jake, what do you think? Good pick, bad pick, middle pick? What are you going with?
Absolutely fantastic pick. I mean, the Timberwolves, they're going young. This is a value pick. You take the best player available. What is team? Oh, he's ranked the best available.
But while you're talking, Dave, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to put anything on the other side of the board?
Yeah, I was hoping to get your guys as I write.
Okay.
So I will.
Because I was
Jake
like,
Ricky
you might cover
moment.
that, but go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
I think this is a BPA pick at this point, and I think for me, it comes down to two guys, Shagun and the guy who's going to go next, because I do have a Ross pick, his big board. So I won't spoil it yet, but it is between those two guys. Actually, I think that you could have looked at best player available. There's a couple people, actually. Shagun, you could look at Jared Butler, and you could look at a Chris Duarte. Those are the three kind of, and then another guy who will go next, so I'm not going to mention his name. But I think those are the guys. I think if you're going young, I get the no Duarte, and I get the Shagun pick. I understand it completely. I think it's a good pick. Jared Butler, I guess going earlier with Jalen Suggs and going with Keon Johnson, finally attacked the big after attacking two guards earlier in the first. Makes complete sense. The Wolves walk out. I know that they blew up and went 2K, but if they would somehow end up with these three players and whoever they take at 21, I think they did absolutely fantastic.
So we will quickly give Dave so he can write these down. You can still hear us, right, Dave? All right, I'll give you mine first because I'm pretty much ready for it. I'll say Chris Duarte is my first. Or no, Jared Butler. Jared Butler. So Butler, Duarte, just like you, are 1-2. Sorry, I forgot Butler was still on the board. I like Jared Butler. So it's a Butler, Duarte, then Isaiah Jackson, Kai Jones, and then Ayo Dosunmu.
Jacker.
Dave making use of the whiteboard today. I love it. I love it when he said he had it. It was like,
it'll be easier in the actual draft because he has like 10 minutes in between picks.
Yeah.
This one is a little bit rushed. Do you need mine now?
Yep.
Or do you got Ricky's?
He got mine.
You ready? I will skip my first because he's going to go next. Butler, Bones, Nishan, Chris Duarte, Kai Jones, and Jaden Springer.
And you do have the next pick from
I do. I have his whole list.
For the Thunder.
I do.
Who is the pick for the Thunder at 20, Jake?
The pick for the Thunder at 20 will be big Usman Garuba from Real Madrid International.
You know what? I don't mind it. And like this is a thing of like, what did he knock the board over while I was not looking? Did he knock the board over and almost fall right on his ass? Is that what happened?
Yes, it is.
Woosah.
Yes, it is. Okay, I don't have the board attached to the wall yet.
Yep.
I did not have it. My power drill did not charge. Didn't plan ahead well enough. It is on a stand at the moment. But great pick in Usman Garuba. He was number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dave's like, I got to change that now.
He was 5th on my board. So I think great pick. Someone who is a versatile defender. Can kind of defend maybe 2 through 5 at the end.
It's great because I can see it happening.
We'll work through it.
And couldn't react fast enough. Oh, I hope that didn't hurt.
We will work through it.
Right.
This is going to be a great show. Work with me here, people. Usman Garuba was number 5 on my best availables, but as far as versatile defenders, bigs go, I think this is a great pick. And his showing at the Olympics so far, I know it's just warm-up games pretty much, but has been very impressive. And I do think that this is someone who is probably going to be rising. You know, we're recording this just over a week before the draft starts.
Yep.
Just under? You're right. Wow, time flies. I do think that he will be moving up and potentially will be taken a little bit higher than 20 overall. So great selection here. And again, I think he's a name to watch over the coming week.
And Jake, before I get your final thoughts on, because I don't think you gave much on it, the thing I love about it is he does not need. This is like a perfect like, hey, we'll draft you, let you develop. There's no pressure here on the Thunder.
Yeah, Usman Garuba, I've definitely been higher on him the most for the entire draft. I have him as a top 10 prospect. I believe that his defensive IQ and his defensive ability is elite walking into the league, and his offensive ability is good enough for right now. I think that he will improve slowly offensively. His shot has to improve. His decision-making a little bit when driving has to improve. But for being his height, his defensive IQ walking into the league, he is an all-NBA defender potential, staring people right in the face.
Well, that brings us to our next pick. Before we bring in the next one, I don't think at 19 we gave the details of this. How did the Wolves get 19 and 21, Jake. I don't think we went over that.
Yeah, sorry. The Knicks acquired D'Angelo Russell, and the Wolves acquired Kevin Knox, Obi Toppin, the 19th overall pick, and the 21st overall pick.
Okay. I forgot to have mentioned that when we did 19, but now we can bring in RJ for the Wolves pick at 21.
My cheekbones actually hurt.
And RJ, whenever you are ready, you can tell us who the Wolves are taking via the Knicks and I think Mavs at 21.
Hello?
RJ, are you there?
Oh, hello?
There we go. I just see people and I'm like, what is going on?
You're up at 21, my guy.
Who are the Wolves taking?
All right. With the 21st pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Jared Butler, guard, Baylor.
All right. Thank you for, and also this is your final pick, so we'd like to thank you for participating.
Thank you for participating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We may pull you back. We might do some post-draft interviews with front offices.
Yeah, so stick around.
Okay.
Also, thank you, before we get into the analysis of it, thank you to John for the $10 donation.
Massive
during
thank you.
During the stream that we got going on. I love this because, like I said, the Wolves need defense. They add in Keon Johnson earlier. Now they're getting Jared Butler. In my mock, guys, I had the Wolves trading in and getting Jared Butler.
Butler. Our number one across the board for BPA. Jared Butler. Can I speak on him briefly?
Go ahead.
I wanted
the way
to do
you
a
were
video on
saying
him
Butler, I was like, did I say something else? Did I fuck up his name?
No. I'm angry at myself because I want to do a video on him this weekend. Sunday things came up in my life. I wasn't able to record a video, so I do want to give a brief rundown. Jared Butler, absolute fucking stud. He is junior, yes, but he is a young junior for his age. I think that what you are going to get with him is someone who has continually improved on his shooting game, continually improved on his defensive game. Smart player, efforts put in off the court, on the court. I think everything about him makes me believe that he has a very high end. I think that he is someone being slept on. People are saying, he's a role player. That's what he'll be. You know, it's the same shit I hear No, this is someone who has excellent fucking talent. I think he is someone who will be a starting point guard in this league for, 5+ years, no problem. It's the same way people just write off anyone over a sophomore. Like, even sophomores. We talked about last year with Halliburton, someone who is fucking fantastic. And they're like, yeah, he's a high-end role player. Go fuck yourself, is my opinion on that one. I think that this is a situation where Jared Butler proved on the biggest stage that he is the best player on a national championship team. His defense is insane. His offensive skill set's great. And he's continuing to grow as a player. So I think that this is an awesome selection.
Mm-hmm. And Jake, what were you going to say on it?
I just want to say that I fully agree, and I hadn't been watching much of his tape because I wanted to wait to hear what his medical records were and all that, if he was going to be cleared. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal talent. I think he's very in similar vein to the guys we talked about, like Dave talked about, like Chris Duarte, who is being written off because he's 24 years old coming to the draft, but he's going to walk in and be an effective NBA player. We'll talk about him when he gets taken, but I think the same effect happens to Jared Butler. They don't care about age. If they can step in and help right away, especially in this mid to late first round, they are worth the value. Especially here at 21, he is completely worth the value, and I think I agree. I think he's a late lottery talent, most likely in this draft. And anywhere from 10 to 14, anything from 10 afterwards, I think a team is going to be considering him.
I mean, slight difference. Duarte's 24, Butler's 20.
No, I'm saying the stigma.
I'm putting it out there. I'm just saying, like, that's the growth. Think about the growth years. Yeah. But I do agree. What talent is showing. Look, let's stop putting the cap on guys just because they're not freshmen.
Malcolm brought in. Sorry.
Well,
yes.
That brings us in. The Lakers have the next pick. They was not traded like many thought it may have.
I bet you they wish Jared Butler was still on the board.
Mm-hmm.
What a problem solver he would have been.
Duarte is still there. Let's bring in Spider-Man.
2.
No, we're not. Oh
no, that's right. We're not. Who is?
I am waiting.
Who's he taking?
The inside sources say the best player on the board for the Lakers was Jared Butler, but he's going to have to go as a second choice. It is going to be the wing out of Oregon, Chris Duarte.
Yep, that's what I thought. I thought Duarte would be the pick here. While Dave is crossing, Jake, do you like this? Do you not like this? Should the Lakers have made a move before we close trades before the draft?
I like this for the Lakers roster right now. I would have, if I'm being honest, also shameless plug, Twitter at Jake Neverman. I did a whole thread on Chris Duarte a few weeks ago. I do love his upside as a player who's going to step in and play on a championship caliber team. The Lakers, I might have leaned a different way with the needs that they have. I don't think that Chris Duarte is a bad pick, though. I think it's a very solid pick. He's going to step in. He could start for this team right away. 3-and-D wing who can also ball handle a little bit. Smart decision maker, doesn't turn the ball over very much, and can shoot lights out. So I love Duarte's upside, especially a championship contending team taking him right away. He can plug and play and almost. I literally compared him to Danny Green when I compared him to a player in my Twitter thread. So they didn't replace Danny Green last year, and Chris Duarte could be the replacement for him this year.
I do like the choice. I just wonder, like you said, if they will have it by the time the draft rolls around.
Yeah.
This feels like a pick destined to be packaged and moved on from, especially with all the trauma and drama around Kyle Kuzma thinking he is a peer with someone who is actually talented.
God, I can't stand Kyle Kuzma.
No fucking offense, Kyle Kuzma.
I can't stand Kyle Kuzma. All the offense to Kyle Kuzma for me.
But you ain't. You ain't that good.
Hey, what is it, Dave? You ain't that guy, pal.
You ain't
You're
that
not
guy,
that
pal.
guy.
Yeah,
You're not that guy.
I mean, look.
He gets carried to one ring and he's too big for his britches.
You're not. It's very frustrating. I think that Duarte can drop shots. Yes, I think that he's a good scorer. I think the defense is going to be I think maybe he's overrated as a defender, playing against worse competition out there in the pack. I think that he's going to be a decent scorer at like a catch and shoot rate. I think he has a little creation. I would have preferred personal choice. I'll let it seep in here. I would have preferred going for someone like a Trey Murphy here, knowing that, hey, we're probably moving on from Kuzma this offseason. I think that Trey Murphy's someone on the board still who would be an excellent grab.
I was going to say, I would have taken Cam Thomas. I mean, I know that Cam Thomas, defensive efficiency, I know that, and Survivor in chat says that Duarte is not 3-and-D. Being a 3-and-D player does not mean you have to be elite defensively. I think Duarte is serviceable, and his offense is enough to make up for it. Step in his role. But I would have taken Cam Thomas. When we talk about buckets, we talk about a couple guys in this draft. Jalen Green obviously is the bucket. A couple guys later, we talk about a Nashawn Highland, a Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is a walking bucket, and that's what the Lakers need, I think, outside of AD and LeBron.
Well, and I mean, all of you are saying, well, both of you, I should say, I say all of you because Duarte was made by Spider-Man. One of the things the Lakers need is shooting. So everyone that was named can add that to them. I'm curious with the next two picks because we're welcoming in a man who we have not seen since the second overall pick. He will have two picks to make. The Rockets at 23 and 24. We will welcome back in J-Dub to make these picks. J-Dub, how you doing?
Muted.
He's muted, but he can hear me.
Oh.
Turn on the camera.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the flasher. Hello.
How we
you
doing?
Are muted,
Good.
sir.
You do have the mic on mute.
You are muted, sir. So just find the mic. If we can get it.
We'll go patience. Got this.
J-Dub, there we go.
There he is.
The old man finally got it.
There we go. There we go.
Who we taking at 23 and 24, my man?
This is the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
Sir.
NBA 2021. At 23rd pick, the Houston Rockets are selecting Trey Murphy out of the University of Virginia.
I mean, well done.
How about for 24 since you guys are back-to-back?
At pick 24 for the 2021 NBA Discord mock draft, the Houston Rockets are selecting Kai Jones out of Texas. Big.
We will see you again shortly for the most important team in this entire draft. Don't fuck it up, John. I'm just saying, don't fuck it up.
Jake, you and I never agree on anything.
That is fair. We can agree to disagree. We will see you soon.
So
all right.
Here's the thing I will say is I was not expecting the Kai Jones pick for two reasons. Number one is because they already took Mobley early on. And now you're adding in two bigs, but I guess this Rockets team doesn't need playoff ready guys. I was expecting like double guys like Trey Murphy and Dosunmu, because that's a lot of what I've seen and a lot what I've done. Trey Murphy is one that I always mock to the Rockets here.
I would like to say that in my mock that I am recording tomorrow, I have the Rockets going somewhere different with number 2. But John said we never agree. These are the exact 2 picks I have playing for the Rockets.
No
the
shit.
2 is Trey Murphy and Kai Jones. I think it comes down to best availability for Kai Jones. This is about the time where I'm okay taking a risk on a very athletic center who has to refine his game a little bit.
I got a question for you, Jake.
Yeah.
Why? Because both of us in our best 5 had Kai Jones listed. Dave, I'm not asking you because you didn't have Kai Jones on there.
Correct.
Why Kai Jones over Isaiah Jackson?
Honestly, I don't really like either of them, if I'm going to be completely honest. Athletic bigs who need to refine their game, I think that Isaiah Jackson's major deficiencies is decision-making offensively and turning the ball over carelessly and foul trouble. Kai Jones, I also can see the foul trouble issue seeping in a little bit. I just think Kai Jones' maybe body is a little bit more ready to be a 5 in the NBA than Isaiah Jackson currently. Honestly, between the two, I think it's a flip of the coin. I think Kai Jones is just a little bit more advanced at the moment than Isaiah Jackson is. I could see somebody saying they'd rather have Isaiah Jackson over Kai Jones. I wouldn't really argue the two. I just think Kai Jones at the time is a little bit more refined than Isaiah Jackson.
Yeah, for me, it's I like the potential more with Isaiah Jackson than I do with Kai Jones. That's why I just wanted to ask you because we both had Kai Jones on there. But
love to jump into that. Then
Dave, go ahead. Dave, go ahead. We haven't gotten you in here.
No, hang on. Let Jake read it.
John said, "Jake, you're learning."
You're learning.
I vehemently disagree with you, Jake, on the Isaiah Jackson, Kai Jones situation. I think Kai Jones, he's not more ready to play in the NBA. I think he is a massive upside, though, as an athletic talent. Like, he is something special. Does he know how to play basketball? A question often asked about Texas basketball players. Greg Brown, the answer is no. Kai Jones, we'll see. Maybe. He's got a leg up on Greg Brown, at least. I think that he's someone who has a special skill set. At his worst case, he'll be a bouncy 5 who can rebound and rim run day one. And I think that long term, he has incredible upside to grow as a mismatch. Someone who can play the 4, someone who can play the 5, someone who eventually could stretch the floor a little bit out there. You see like these weird spurts of confidence in his game. And I don't want to say irrational, but perhaps misguided confidence at times, where he's just feeling it, and you can see it. He's smiling, he's having a good time, and you'll just see him make a play. You're like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, just like, you never should have done that. Get to the bench, buddy. Like, that will happen at the NBA level. Someone with a short string might pull the cord on that one, but I think that what this does is this gives them the best chance at landing their future front court of, they've got Mobley, they've got Wood, they've got Jones. I like all 3, and I think that, let's be honest, Wood is not a pick for someone who's going to be a long-term franchise player, probably. This was a great deal they snatched up at the time, and they can probably flip this year, next year, and make a lot off of it. So I think that this is just a smart move by John. I think that this is how to pack your team with the most potential, but also lining that for sure hit with Trey, absolutely genius, because this is like, they have versatile wings coming out the ass, and there is no more valuable position in the NBA right now than having that guy that's a plug and play on the outside. So I think well done.
So we will bring in the next pick, 25. The Clippers are on the clock. I hope our resident Clipper fan, Retro, is still here. Mad Rogue is coming in. He did compliment the suit. Mad Rogue, you're in. Who are the Clippers taking at 25? Let's go.
Oh, he's got the blazer.
He's got the blazer.
Everyone came in suits and everything. I had to come prepared.
My man. How are we doing?
This is a hard one, but with the 25th pick in the NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers will select Hyland Jones, shooting guard, VCU.
Oh, fan favorite.
I love you.
Crowd favorite.
Jake is happy.
Let's
go.
Jake, you might be upset now. John can't take him with the Sixers.
Well, that isn't the guy that I really want the Sixers to take, but we'll get into that when John makes the wrong pick, which I assume he will. We always disagree.
So mean.
Bones Highland. I think we're all high on Bones Highland. Dave, I'm going to let you go first. We've been going to Jake a lot first. What do you think of the Clippers? Although this is
I feel like
Jake's
I talk
guy.
all the damn time, but I love it. So I'm not going to say no. Give me the attention. Look, Highland is a great pickup for the Clippers. What we saw out of them this past postseason, weeks ago, was a coach who was not afraid to make lineup changes during the playoffs. When the games matter most, Ty Lue will give anyone on that team a run. And it's like, hey, you prove you're going to work. Let's see it. I will give you your opportunities. And I respect the hell out of that. And I think that Highland is someone who will come in and try to prove that. And I think that he has an incredible work ethic. I think his outside shot, his confidence is warranted. I think this is a case where he is someone who will help dispel the scoring needs of a team that is so wing heavy that at the guard position, scoring is necessary. I think that the Reggie situation is a massive, massive problem because everybody's like, oh, well, they'll just re-sign. Like, you do realize that you have a cap on what you can offer him.
Ricky saw it too. To quote Retro, I'd shoot my blanking load if we got him. Well, he's going to be there most likely for the Clippers pick, so I don't think that's too much for
I love the Australian part first. Mate, please.
Mate, please, mate.
I'm surprised we didn't get a C word there. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I've spoken on Deshaun Highland enough. He's a bucket. He's going to get buckets in the NBA, and he's going to be able to help any team at any time in whatever time frame they're in, especially a team like the Clippers who need bench scoring. Feed me Terrence Mann and Deshaun Highland off the bench. Just feed me it.
I feel like our guys that we are uber high on, if we had all three of us, mine would be Io, Dave would be Sharif Cooper, Jake's would be Bones.
I'm like a mix though, because
mine
Giddey
is top 5 talent. So go.
I was gonna say Giddey is top 5 talent, and I have him at 5 on mine.
Yeah,
so.
but you, I think you're more hyped crazy on Bones.
Bones is my guy. Unless he goes to the Celtics.
Bones
somehow.
and Roka Jokibitis, then
Jokic.
Don't drop the hard J. It's
like Giannis.
Yeah, I say it's like Giannis.
Giannis at the Kumbo.
Just fucking cringe, man.
Yeah, I just say.
But no, this is a great fit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great fit. Like I think you 10 out of 10 right now, Mad Rogue. Well done.
So now we're bringing in. He made a pick earlier. Before we bring him in, though, remind everyone, Jake, how the Pacers are picking here at 26.
I need to find the pick. Here we go. The Oklahoma City Thunder received Miles Turner, and the Indiana Pacers received Danilo Gallinari, the 26th overall pick, and a 2022 lottery-protected first from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Let's bring in Tim for the pick.
Timmy Jim.
Big time Timmy Jim.
Let's see if he has the consistency for the right GM right now.
Let's see. Can he? Yeah.
Oh, he's jumping the lead.
Why is it a mean stare? Why are you mean like us?
I say he is just dead to the world right now.
And
he can't hear us.
He can't
hear us at all, Tim. Tim,
are you alive? Tim, are you alive? We can't hear you.
He's falling up in Discord.
You can't hear us.
He's deafened.
He just said,
"Oh shit!" I saw, "Oh shit!"
Yeah. I was listening to the YouTube feed.
Okay.
There you go.
Indiana Pacers, the
26
is Isaiah Jackson out of Kentucky.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there we go. Loving the Wayne's World run too. That's awesome. Wayne's World.
So,
Ricky, you got to feel pretty good about this because 4 out of your 5 BPAs have been taken now.
What can I say? I know what the people want.
So have mine, sir.
So are you. I have different opinions.
How is Jaden Springer? Sorry. How is Jaden Springer? Okay, sorry.
Oh, Jaden Springer's still there.
Springer.
Shit, I forgot.
Grimy grind.
How is Jaden Springer?
Shit, you know what? Io might be bumped. Springer would have been number 1 on my board. That is a mishap by me. But I love this. You get rid of Miles Turner. You bring in Isaiah Jackson. You're going here's the thing. This might not be what the Pacers do in real life, but I love it for the potential going forward. Yeah. Do you think the Pacers go this way, or is this going to be hey, we got to get someone that's more NBA ready? Jake, I'll go with you.
No, I think this team has a mixed timeline. I believe with their earlier pick, they did select Jalen Johnson. So pairing to Jalen Johnson, Isaiah Jackson going forward, maybe maybe hoping Sabonis balls this year at the 5 and hoping to sell high on him next year, moving towards the youth movement. I didn't mention it earlier. I do feel bad for Jalen Johnson. He has to be the second best young wing on his team because O'Shea Brissett is better. So you just have to get there. But O'Shea Brissett and Jalen Johnson going forward, great duo there on the wing. I'm talking like Mel Kiper right now. I don't know why. I don't know why. No, but generally, I do like to pick Isaiah Jackson. I think the value here is very good. We talked about rim protection. He's a guy who can grow into a rim protector into the NBA with his freak athleticism. Maybe in the future could compare him next to Sabonis. I'm not sure of the fit there. I would think that Sabonis probably gets moved on in a couple years if Isaiah Jackson's going to get slid in there. But Isaiah Jackson and Gallinari at the 4-5, don't hate it.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad bench lineup. I just think that Jackson kind of gives them a bit of an insurance policy right now for that roster. I'm not opposed to the pick here, and I think they did need to address a big after going away from Miles Turner. So, end of the day, not a terrible pick, but I'm trying to remember the center's name. Goga.
Yep.
Right?
Batazde.
Yep. They still have Batazde on that roster, so we'll see. And also, the Cavs did have a situation where Isaiah Hartenstein declined his option, so we'll see him on the free agent market, and I think that's another spot where you could see a little bit of a Sabonis light in Hartenstein. So I would keep an eye on that little off-the-books rumor right there.
So moving on, 27. We only have 4 picks left. Chainsaw, we will bring in to make the pick for the Brooklyn Nets. Chainsaw, how we doing today? First time we have talked to you today.
Yeah, he's muted.
He's on mute, I know. He can still hear me, though, Jake.
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We are doing wonderful. Who are the Nets taking at 27, Chainsaw?
The Nets. Let me take a look at your big board. I just got out of the movies watching Black Widow.
What'd you think? What'd you think? Brief.
I liked it.
All right. Can we get a pizza score out of this one? 1 through 10 rating. No rookie scores. One bite. Everybody knows the rules.
8.4.
8.4. That's a strong rating.
That's a rookie. That's a rookie score. And I watched Black Widow.
I was gonna say that might be a little rookie score. They're going high. Like an 8.4. You can't have a lot of
Marvel movie. It's got a baseline, but still, that is high.
Baseline.
So yeah, we are looking at a Nets team where the expectations are obviously playoff, championship contender. So you're thinking probably somebody who can help you win a championship and play right now. Maybe someone like a Quentin Grimes.
I don't know.
Because you're going to lose
No, there's one follower. Jaden Springer is still available, just so you know, somehow at 27.
But you could get the better player in Quentin Grimes who can help you win a championship.
The better player in Jaden Springer. Or
I thought we were supposed to be unbiased, guys. Let him make the pick.
Who is it? Who's saying? Hold on.
Duarte isn't crossed off. Is he still available?
He is crossed off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can go darker on this one.
That would have been a steal at 27.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Dave? You're lucky I like Quentin Grimes, man.
My guy.
I'm going to go with Quentin Grimes.
My guy,
thank you very much.
We're talking about a player who has busted his ass. He had a rough start to his college career.
But he's not a first-round prospect.
He absolutely is.
He is not. I'm sorry, he is not.
He has size. He has length. He's an excellent rebounder. He is someone who can score from all 3 levels. He's improved his game year over year over year, starting at Kansas, then having to move out to a program that actually appreciates him and will play around him. I cannot speak highly enough about Quentin Grimes and his growth that he's shown. I think this is a perfect fit for a team that is losing Spencer Dinwiddie this offseason. I think he's a plug-and-play bench guard.
Yeah, I look at it, though, and I go, Jaden Springer is still there. Ayo Dosunmu is still there. Miles McBride is still there.
Jaden Springer doesn't help you win this year.
No
one gives a fuck about 4 years from now how good you'll be. This is a championship roster.
But even after that, Ayo Dosunmu, Josh Christopher, Cam Thomas, Miles McBride, all of these guys, in my mind, rated higher than Grimes, to where it's like, what? I get ready now, but there are...
I think Christopher and Ayo and Grimes are in the same category.
Yeah, and I would have Grimes as the lowest out of those 3 is what I'm saying.
And why would that be?
Because
that's my question to you.
For me, from what I saw in college, I saw Christopher is all tape of what I see. It's like, okay, I like him better a little bit than Grimes.
Can't finish at the rim.
Ayo is I've seen more out of him in college than I saw Grimes, to where Grimes wasn't leading that Houston team. Yet again, Houston had a full team. Illinois had Kofi and
Yeah, they
I would
just
assume
had, three
also
guys who are going to be
Curbelo.
all NBA
But
talent.
I just think there's better talent on the board, personally, in my personal professional opinion.
I respectfully say fuck you, and I disagree.
Jake, outside,
again, this is a guy who they literally only lost to Baylor. They got to the tourney. Yeah. They won 4 games. They only lost to Baylor. They swept their conference tourney.
I'm not saying Grimes is bad. I'm just saying I would have taken other prospects over him. Jake, thoughts?
On a personal note, fuck Quentin Grimes because he beat Syracuse in the tournament. That's my genuine.
Need I give more help? I
don't hate the pick. I actually in my mock might have the same pick. So just I do enjoy the playmaking ability that Quentin Grimes has, and he is a plug and play now. I don't know about his long-term availability in the NBA, but he can stick in and play right now for the Nets, and that's probably why they'll take him.
I like how Dave apologizes for clapping, but Discord muted the fucking clapping.
Yeah, you have the noise cancellation on, so nobody can hear you.
You did?
Yeah,
so when you clap, it doesn't come through for you.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, but that'll move us on. We got 3 picks left. J-Dub coming back for the Sixer pick.
There's one pick.
Jake said, "Don't fuck up."
There's one pick here, and if it takes anybody else, we're gonna have words. All right, John.
John, how we doing? We're back for the Sixers. Who they got?
But we're back on cam.
I love it. I love it.
Shit.
Let's go.
Oh, shit. We got the shades going. And the bet. Hell yes, sir. Keeping it classy.
I love it. Oh, is he getting it? Oh, he's got all of them.
a treat.
This is... Okay, if anybody's still here who's not in our Discord, this is why you need to join our Discord, because the people who are in this Discord are just excellent people. They're amazing human beings.
Yes.
So, John, GM of the Sixers, who you taking at 28?
Before I begin, let me get a shout out and credit to Tim setting tone here.
Yes.
With 2021 NBA Discord mock draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Isaiah Todd, G League United.
Oh, shit.
I would say thank you, but I'm not going to say it.
I love this.
Stick around. We might have some post-draft interviews with you.
We absolutely will. I low-key love this pick, though. But, Jake, everyone wants to hear from you.
You're
no
the
one gives a
Sixer
fuck
boy.
about me.
Josh Christopher is there, and they have the draft pick. You are taking Josh Christopher to get a perimeter ball handler, can also play make a little bit. Isaiah Todd.
But you have gushed about Isaiah Todd.
I have not.
Yeah, you have.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I've heard you in the past say draft Isaiah Todd to the Sixers.
I don't think I said
I have
that.
heard. I've got to find the receipts because I've heard you.
Okay. I mean, if you can pull up those receipts, I will say I was dead wrong, but I don't remember saying that. Perimeter ball handling is a massive issue. Stretch 5 is an issue, but I think that can be addressed in the second round. I've also actual inside sources say that the Sixers most likely will not have this pick once the draft comes around. So they're most likely going to move it for a veteran talent or a rotation player. Currently, if they are here, Josh Christopher, I think it's a pretty easy pick. I don't think if Quentin Grimes is there, I'd also consider him. I think Josh Christopher, somebody who can create a little bit on the perimeter wall, so ball handling, play next to Tyrese Maxey off the bench.
That's my concern. That would be my concern around Christopher and Maxey together as backcourt off the bench. I know that's not a long-term, like, hey, you got to worry about them being on an island together, but, like, I would have concerns around that. I would love to know what your thoughts are on, I know you just drafted a dead-eye shooter last year, but Cam Thomas.
Yeah.
Someone who
I didn't realize he was
is
there.
still on the board.
Yeah.
I would love to see him being picked because I think that he fits both scoring off the bench, but also incredible upside.
Honestly, I forgot he was even there because, like, in every mock I've had, he's gone to the Lakers. Like, every time he's there for the Lakers are taking him in mocks. If he's there, I agree. Him, Josh Christopher, honestly, it wouldn't work, but Nestor Sean Highland on the Sixers would fill my need and it'd be amazing. I don't know how him and Maxey would work or anything like that, but somebody who can score the basketball at an efficient rate from the guard position is what they need to target in my mind.
I love Todd as a talent, though.
I could do that if you went to the Sixers. Every time he scored, Todd.
He has such good offensive talent, like offensive potential for like just top end scoring talent. Defensively, yes, he'll have some missteps, but that's why you put him next to fucking playoff P out there. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you have guys who can defend at the 5. You can have rim protectors. So why not get somebody on the wing who has, like, Toby replacement written all over him?
Did you just Did you just refer to Paul Reed as playoff P?
I did.
I don't. Okay,
instead of B-ball Paul.
I don't know if guys like an Isaiah Joe, and Paul Reed are gonna make it through the offseason on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I believe the team is going completely win now, and the young guys who they can't facilitate a lot of playing time to most likely are going to be shipped out because say that. Sixers talk here, but say that if you're taking a trade, you can trade George Hill's contract, which is $10 million. You throw in Isaiah Joe and Paul Reed, and our trade exception, you can get up towards the $16 million to be able to take on in salary, which is why I like Paul Reed. I like Isaiah Joe. Wouldn't hate Isaiah Todd. It's not the pick I would have made. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of these guys are going to be moved for win now rotation players because you saw the bench kind of just burn in the playoffs. We'll go with that.
I mean, you shouldn't have to count on your bench if you had a legitimate point guard. So unfortunately, all the blame goes back to Ben Simmons at some point or another.
John does
it's great if Tobias Harris could actually score in game 7 fourth quarter who as the second scorer.
That's why you're drafting Todd. He is a bucket.
John does say spread the talent throughout the roster. The Sixers are guard deep, and he says Todd is a stretch 4. But that brings us to 29. We will bring in JD soon for the Celtics, but before we do, how did the Celtics get this pick, Jake?
Oh, yeah, completely biased here from their GM, JD, saying he just wanted to make a pick with the Celtics. But they did, honestly, the value they gave, they got the 29th pick, a lot of protected first next year they gave up, and a second-round pick along with Grant Williams, blah, blah, blah. But if you're the Wizards, you're getting a second-round pick this year and a lot of protected pick, first-round pick next year, and nothing in Grant Williams. 2023 in 2 years. Grant Williams is nothing. He's a tank commander, if anything.
He's a tweener who's not going to help you win a championship, but he's not a bad piece.
He's pretty bad at basketball. But we'll welcome in JD as the GM of the Celtics. This is JD's team.
This is your team, JD. Who are you taking at 29? The Don is in the room.
So I'm taking Ricky's line here. I am sprinting this pick to the podium. with the 29th pick in the NBA draft, the Boston Celtics are proud to select Jaden Springer, guard, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
There we go.
This one was in my head. I was like, this is totally a Springer pick. He's not going to fall to the second round, right?
Yeah, he can't.
Right?
There's no way.
This is probably who I would have the Celtics select if they still had their 16th pick and he was there. This is great value for the Celtics, getting him all the way at 29. And giving up, Grant Williams for him? Yeah, do it.
I mean, it fills a positional need. They moved on from Kemba Walker, and they absolutely need to have someone who has a future who can be a point guard for this team. Obviously, Marcus Smart, people in the locker room feel like he has, been given some favoritism over the years. Deserving, non-deserving, I can't say, but I think that we've finally seen Romeo Langford exists. So they have a couple guys who can play the 2 and the 3. I just think that Jaden Springer is the immediate answer to give you someone who can be a bench point guard who has growth potential to be a starting 1 long-term for you. I love the kid. I think that Tennessee held him back. And I think that had he played at a different college, he probably would be lottery talent. He's one of the youngest players in this draft class.
I have him rated.
He did nothing wrong.
I have him rated as a lottery talent on my big board. I think he's a very skilled player, and I think he gives you, like you said, something opposite of Peyton Pritchard. That I think Peyton Pritchard is a good bench point guard who doesn't have starter potential in the end game, but he's what you want on a prototypical. He's a poor man's T.J. McConnell. There you go. Not really.
He's literally young George Hill.
Yeah, exactly. And getting Jaden Springer to play off the bench for now and slowly molding into your starting point guard of the future is very important because they still don't. They have Brown, they have Tatum. The rest of the roster is kind of a giant question mark at this point. So I assume you start Marcus Smart this year because Brad Stevens is not going to trade him. You have Jason Tatum basically run the offensive initiator role, and then hopefully Jaden Springer in the next year or two can slowly roll into that role in the future.
And then there was the 30th overall pick.
I have it. So
the Jazz, who are they taking?
Ricky, you are going to be very sad because your man is falling to the second round with the 30th overall pick. The Utah Jazz are selecting Miles McBride, guard out of West Virginia. Dave and I, we literally spoke on this pick for 5 minutes in our big board in reacting to mocks. I love Miles McBride, plug and play defensive wing who is mistake free. guard. I meant to say guard. My bad. Who is mistake free basically offensively. Doesn't turn the ball over a lot. Good ball handling abilities and good passing ability. Just nothing nothing jumps that great. That's why he's here now. But he's just good.
His measurables are great.
Yeah, measurables.
The man has like a 6'9" wingspan for being like 6'3".
And him and Jordan Clarkson off the bench. That's yes. That's
now,
just yes.
The thing I will say, and I got two things. First off, about the actual pick, this is right on with what the Jazz need. One of the things is a actual like backup point guard because Conley could be gone. Mitchell has had injuries. Jordan Clarkson, do you really want him at the point guard? Do you want to have someone next to him that can be the point guard and he's your scoring 2 guard? The other thing is you say like, oh, Ricky, you're going to be sad. I would assume who drops. Here's the thing I'm noticing about this draft, though. When we get to 20 to 30 change. Even like look at the mocks you guys reacted to.
Oh, it's
1 to 10 was the same. 11 to 20 was pretty much the same. 20 to 30, everything just went to cacophony. To where it's like...
Wait, what word?
Cacophony. Look it up. It's an actual word. It means
I've never heard that word.
It's a word, but I don't believe you're using it correctly.
Yeah, it's cacophony. It's like all disorganized and like crazy. That's what it means. Cacophony.
Oh, I found it. Let's see what the definition is. A harsh no. Cacophony of deafening alarm bells is how you. No, yeah. You almost had it.
It's craziness all around.
Yeah, I got you. I never heard of it.
But like depending on who you ask, 20 to 30 is different. Like Dave has Grimes in the first round. I don't. Like there are people that have guys in their first round 20 to 30 that person B, C, D is like, oh no, that's a second rounder. 30 to like 40 second rounder.
I would like to say is I think that exact line that you said speaks to how deep this draft is and how much value there is late first, early second. There are so many guys who I could see as plug-in role players. Like Dave has number 1 on his board, Wieskamp. I think he could plug in and be an NBA role player. I think the Nets could also look at like him. So this draft is so deep, and there's so much talent late in the first that can plug and play in the NBA. That's why this is so much fun, and why Thursday night, especially, we didn't mention it. We will be live Thursday night for the draft, obviously, with the same format, but actually reacting to the NBA draft. It's just going to be so much fun because there's so many guys that I'll be sitting here at pick 35 waiting and seeing who's going to go because I genuinely think that so many of these guys can play in the NBA right away.
No, I agree. Dave, are you putting down top 5s?
Yeah, left remaining.
Top of the second round, next best availables. Me personally, I've got Wieskamp, Jason Preston, and Cam Thomas. Somehow fell out of our first round.
Yeah.
I would say
Ricky for you. I have IO obviously,
and then probably Christopher or not Christopher. Thomas and Jeremiah Earl Robinson, but
JRE
doesn't matter what order those two are in. It's just Thomas and JRE, and then Christopher would be 4. But like,
don't worry about me.
You're okay. I believe in you.
He broke his stand.
I broke the stand.
Just hold it.
Technical difficulties.
He broke the stand.
Don't worry about it. Those are all good noises.
Loud noises.
While Dave deals with that, I will ask you, Jake, like overall as a whole, what did you think of tonight's experience?
Well, first, I'd like to thank everybody that participated. We will
thank you. Well,
I
think we will do that at the end, but okay.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to hang around for a little bit and have some post-draft interviews. So I just wanted to thank.
This is already almost 2.5 hours.
Okay. If you don't want to, it's fine.
I was just thinking draft, and then next year we can.
That's fine. But no, I think it was overall success. I had a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure we'll be doing this again next year.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm pretty sure we'll probably do this for the NFL. But
I was about to say
Dave might have to host it.
Dave might have.
Dave and I might have to switch so I can do some analysts.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I think the only, I guess, quick winners and losers. I think the Pistons are a winner, walking out with Cade Cunningham and Jonathan Kuminga. The losers, the Warriors.
Pelicans win too.
Pelicans
are the biggest winner of the day.
Yeah, Pelicans and the Pistons. I think are the 2 biggest winners. Biggest loser, the Warriors. They got absolutely robbed in plain daylight.
Ricky, who was your middle between JRE and IO?
Cam.
Your next best 3.
Cam, JRE, and Rokas.
Jokobias.
Okay.
Oh, you said it wrong, Jake. You
Rokas
said it wrong.
Jokobias.
It's not Rokas. It's Jokas.
You son of a bitch.
My bad. I'm American. I don't watch international basketball as much as you.
Oh.
Hey Dave, who would if we did this a week ago? Who would have been your best available?
A week ago.
Roko.
Oh, Roko.
You want to speak about your long lost lover who's no longer in the draft?
So, for those of you who don't know, I've been standing Roko.
You're complete off camera, just so you know.
For those of you who don't know, I have to watch out because the stand is like sticking out into my fucking stomach. Roko decided to go back to play in Europe yet again. Didn't get a guaranteed first round pick, which is hilarious because he has first round talent absolutely through and through. He's one of the best wings on the market right now, I think. At 18 years old, I'm incredibly stunned at the ignorance of front offices right now. I think that next year, when the travel is it's easier to travel next year. Assuming people get vaccinated, assuming people believe in science, fucking dumb people get out of my way.
Get vaccinated.
Yeah. With all that being said, I just feel like he's underappreciated and undervalued. So I think that Roko, seemingly would have been lottery talent this year, but people did not get to see him in person, and I don't think he got fairly evaluated. So I'm excited to see what he does this next year playing in Europe. We'll see what league he will play in if he changes teams at all. There was some criticism around his level of competition, but I think that he thrived as a do-it-all wing. I fucking love this kid, and I think that, he will be a stud come NBA time.
One thing I want to do before we wrap up is quickly just go through, in case you came in late, you didn't hear earlier picks, just a quick rundown of how everything went before we get you guys out of here. Just going to say team and pick to make this a lot smoother. Number 1, Pistons took Cade Cunningham. Number 2, Rockets took Evan Mobley. Cavs at 3 go JG4. Raptors, first shock of the draft, go Moses Moody. Then the Magic at 5 go Scotty Barnes. Wolves at 6 have Jalen Suggs fall into their lap. 7, the Pelicans take Josh Giddey. Magic at 8 took James Bouknight. Kings at 9 took Franz Wagner. The Wizards via the Pelicans at 10 took Trey Mann. Pistons via the Hornets at 11 took Jonathan Kuminga. Spurs at 12 take Sharif Cooper. 13, the Pacers take Jalen Johnson. Pelicans at 14 go Corey Kispert. The Wolves at 15 go Keon Johnson. The Wolves then at 16 go Zaire Williams. Grizzlies at 17 go J.T. Jor out of Alabama. Hawks go 18 with Davion Mitchell. 19, the Wolves go with Alperen Şengün, international out of Turkey. Thunder at 20 go with Usman Garuba. 21, the Wolves go with Jared Butler. 22, Lakers go with Chris Duarte. 23 and 24, the Rockets go with Trey Murphy and Kai Jones. 25, the Clippers go with Bones Highland. Isaiah Jackson then goes 26 to the Pacers. Nets at 27 go Quentin Grimes. Isaiah Todd goes to the Sixers at 28. 29, the Celtics take the falling Jaden Springer. And then at 30, the Jazz took Miles McBride. As Jake said earlier, I want to thank everyone who participated in this Discord mock. We could not have done this great 2-hour plus broadcast without you guys. So thank you to everyone who made picks, made trades. We're going to want to do this next year for sure. We're probably going to do it for the NFL. Dave, I don't know if you heard us. Me and you will probably have to switch roles for that one. But this was a great treat. Thank you to everyone who watched. We had about almost 50 viewers at one time watching, which is great. Everyone who commented today, thank you for you guys. Also, thank you to John for the $10 donation, and earlier Bravo for the $5 super chat of, as Stone Cold would say, if y'all enjoying watching the show, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's going to do it for us. If you want to support us and what we are doing, 2 ways you can do
Tim.
that.
Shout out.
Like Tim, like some of the people you saw today. You can check out our Patreon down below, patreon.com/MVPvids, or become a channel member. two ways for you to support us. They're both the same thing. So do not be someone that goes, I'm going to become both, because you don't have to do that. Number 2, join the Discord. It is truly, like Dave said earlier, it's the greatest collection of people. When I say the greatest community in the universe, that's not just a throwaway line. I love what we have done with this Discord, and it is truly the best community on the internet. I don't care what anyone else has to say. That is the truth. Let us know if you're watching this after the fact, what you think about things down below in the comment section. We'll be back with draft content all week. Dave and Jake have a mock draft reactions that's going up tonight or tomorrow morning. We've got a mock draft from Jake. We've got draft content on Thursday, live streaming, watching the entire NBA draft, and much, much more. So make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay tuned to everything with MVP. Thank you to everyone watching. I'm going to sign off because, as Jake said, my cheeks are kind of a little rough right now with all the talking, but thank you and have a good day, everybody.
Bye.